Hello, everyone. Welcome back for the second game here of the Lost Mind of Phandelver, played by your friendly local Oswego comic shop. My name is Casey, and I'm going to be the DM tonight. Uh, Moving on, we're just going to reintroduce our players and their characters real quick. Let's see here. Evan, why don't you go first?
Hi, I'm playing Morose Moisthuve. I am a half orc barbarian. Um, my community, my town was destroyed, and I've kind of been on the quest for the past few years to rebuild a little bit of a fortune and rebuild my town again.
Very good. And you've already come a couple copper closer to that goal, so I understand.
Yeah, I haven't counted them lately, but I think I have 7.
Perfect.
That's perfection.
Probably won't come up. All right. Moving on down the line on my screen, I've got Paynar Pricklethorn, aka Tyler. Tyler, just remind the folks at home who you're playing. Introduce yourself.
I am Paynar Pricklethorn. I'm currently wandering the lands of the Forgotten Realms to collect research and potions to make the very first Potions and Poultices Guide to the Forgotten Realm.
Very good. Very cool. Yeah, Phandalin being a town on the outskirts of civilization, you're bound to run into some unusual things out here. So, up next, we have Mr. Alex Dexter playing Barney Grift.
Good evening, Barney Grift, our ever lovable, roguish character. Maybe a do-gooder, maybe not. We'll find out.
All right. Next up, I have Dave. Dave's playing Shi and Kudo. Dave? Did I
Hello.
pronounce?
Yep. I'm Shi and Kyoto.
Shi and Kyoto. I'm going to get that right eventually, probably on our last session.
Yeah.
I'm a Capper Elf Ranger who works mainly as a mercenary seeking experience so that he can avenge the destruction of his homeland.
Awesome.
Nice.
Many contract to be found out on the unsettled lands here in the Sword Coast. So, and then finally, we have Noah. Noah, you're playing Thaniel.
That is
Aridin?
correct.
Did I get that right? Aridin?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good. All right. Tell everybody a little bit about Thaniel.
All right. So I was an apprentice to the high priest to Torm. His name is Vaniel, and he was killed when I was still an acolyte. After this, I promised to avenge his death, so I became a paladin, and I've been trying to destroy evil ever since.
Very good. All right. So last time we played, our merry band set out on the road from the city of Neverwinter, heading south, carrying a cart full of goods to the frontier town of Phandalin. Having been hired by Gundren Rockseeker, they were going to be paid the handsome sum of 10 gold a person to escort a cart down a fairly well-traveled road onto a significantly less well-traveled road to the recently reconstructed town of Phandalin. About 4 days into their journey, however, after turning onto the Tribor Trail off the main high road, the party scout. Sorry, one second here, folks. Shay and Kyoto. Did I do better?
Almost. You're getting there.
Shi and Kyoto.
She and Kyoto. All right. Was scouting ahead, and luckily he was, because he came across a tree that had fallen across the path, and in front of the tree were the discarded bodies of 2 horses that were peppered with arrows, all with black fletches on the back. Upon returning to the party to report his findings, the party decided to use their trusty Tin Man, Thaniel, to ride the cart down the middle of the path and sneak up and ambush the ambushers, as it were. Getting the drop on them, the party hastily dispatched 5 out of the 6 goblins. However, the 6th did manage to escape into the forest. Tracking the goblin, Shay found that he had traveled north off of the road uh, down a well-trodden path towards a set of caves about, what did we say, about 4 or 5 miles off the path. Upon returning back, Shane and Kudo found that the rest of the party had managed to pull the tree out of the path, and using the oxen, were now headed back down the Tribor Trail towards Phandelver. When we left off, the players had just pulled into the town and had met a gentleman by the name of Elmer Barthen, the owner and proprietor of Barthen's Goods, the gentleman that they were supposed to deliver these goods to. And upon speaking with him, they discovered that their employer, their patron, who had set out to arrive in the town before them, had not shown yet, nor had his bodyguard, Sildar Hallwinter. So, any questions? Anybody? Anything?
I have one quick question.
Yeah.
What race
so.
was the bodyguard?
He is human.
Okay. I think that's about it.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna pick back up. You guys are standing in front of Barthen's Provisions, a sizable general goods store here in the town of Phandelver. Elmer is a rather tall for a human. He's rather tall for a human. He's rather spindly. He's bald up top, and he looks to be in about his mid-50s. As he stands there and talks to you, he tells you that nobody, Gundren didn't show. He was due to arrive this morning, but I'm sorry, he was due to arrive yesterday morning, but he didn't. Now, obviously, you've delivered these goods, and as he says that, he looks back into the store, and 2 teenage boys, both human, come out. They kind of lazily drag themselves out and walk over to the back of the cart, and they start to unhook the what would be the tailgate, and start to
Sorry, I'll be back in a second.
unload crates and barrels, bring them into the shop. Meanwhile, Elmer continues to talk to you guys. I'm not sure what his promised rate was, but he was due to arrive with money. One of those things that I was supposed to do was to pay you guys. So we're at a bit of a standstill here, I'm afraid.
Have you ever done any business with him before?
Oh, the Rock Seekers. Yes. All 3 brothers, actually. Come to think of it, the other 2 are due to show up any day now. It's been about a 10 days since last I saw them.
Seems to me like you shouldn't be taking the provisions before we get.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what your role was, but I assure you that these provisions are bought and paid for. I will give you everything I can, of course, but Mr. Rockseeker was to provide payment to you.
Okay, I just got back. I heard at the end of that they were talking to Barthen and that we're supposed to get our money from Gundren, not him.
He turns around to head back inside the shop, behind the counter. He says, "Oh, just a minute. Let me see what I can provide. Of course, you should be paid for your your professional services, of course. What was the promised rate? He says, looking back over his shoulders.
10 gold a person.
10 gold a person. You see his face becomes a little bit flushed. He kind of staggers. He says, well,
Well, we don't really have to be paid. After all, Mr. Rockseeker was supposed to pay us.
Speak for yourself, Paladin.
Yeah.
Agreed.
well, please, come inside. You all seem a little weary from the road. He gestures inside the shop. Inside, you guys can see. I don't know if you follow him, but through the doorway, you guys can see that he stocks a pretty nice little general store here. There's nothing that's worth heaps and heaps of gold, but he has your general provisions that you would expect to find in a general store on a frontier town. He stocks backpacks, ropes, different types of farming implements and equipment, uh, feed and seed for all manner of animals. Pretty standard things.
How about rations?
um yes, we do sell rations. He gestures off into a corner where you can see um where they have barrels filled with dried nuts and breads and jerkies and things.
How much you selling per thing of ration per day?
I'd say typically we sell what would be considered a ration. So some of these trail bars, they're quite good, made of all different types of seeds and jerkies, and about 5 silver is the usual.
And one of these things will last me about the entire day?
Yes. He says, he kind of answers while he's going through a lockbox behind the counter. What's everybody else doing?
You said bread and cheese, right?
Yeah, he has bread and cheese. It's your standard grocer's store.
I'm considering what provisions we'll need to go back out on the trail by probably tomorrow morning. I haven't discussed this plan yet, but it weighs heavily on Barney that we have yet to see Gundren and that we kind of know that something bad happened and he's likely waylaid somewhere in the woods at the best.
I'm just keeping an eye on Barthens just to kind of see what he's doing back there. I'm very curious as to what he's working on.
Okay. As he finishes behind the counter, he pulls up
A shotgun.
he pulls up a small pouch that he's filled with coins, and he sets it down on the counter and slides it across. He says, right there is 30 gold. I'm afraid it's the most that I can pay right now. Without Gundren's contributions, I'm afraid that I simply won't be able to keep my doors open if I were to pay a copper more. These damnable red brands have been bleeding the town dry, and I'm no exception.
Red
Doesn't
brand.
want gold anyway. He already said he didn't want to get paid for this.
Yeah, I've
Hold
got
on
my
a minute.
10.
Hold up.
I'm fine.
I have 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
First, is it common for a merchant to not show up traveling from, where did we come from, Neverwinter?
Yeah.
From Neverwinter to Phandelver?
It's not wholly uncommon. This is a dangerous area. Just the other week, a shipment that was supposed to head to the Miners' Exchange never showed. I'm sorry. To the Lion Shield Coster, not the Miners' Exchange. I'm a bit frazzled, you see. Yeah, the Rockseeker brothers are something of. Well, they've become friends of mine. They've been working out here since Phandelver was reestablished a handful of years ago, and we've become quite close.
So did the Lion Shield Coster determine why their shipment was waylaid, or
I'm not entirely sure what they've found out. The local establishment of the Coster is run by Leanne Greywind. She's a likable enough lady, as long as you stay on her good side. You might
so
want
we
to
should
ask her.
probably ask her.
Yes, I'm not
Also,
certain.
who are these red brands, and is it possible that they could be involved in Rockseeker's disappearance?
I'd not put it past them. But they masquerade themselves as mercenaries. Truly, they're more of bandits or brigands. They've set upon the town in recent weeks, and I am afraid that they might be here to stay.
Do you happen to know where they congregate?
Yes, they've taken up. Sorry, guys, one second.
No,
They've
you're good.
taken up drinking at the Sleeping Giant Inn. Um, Poor Grista's been forced to put up with them, and not only that, not only are they eating and drinking her out of house and home, they're probably shaking her down as well as they do any other business in the area. Uh, my heart goes out to her.
So they haven't hit your business yet.
Oh, they most certainly have. They
Oh.
demand protection money, and, well, they've been more than happy to demonstrate what happens if it's not paid.
When do they collect?
Whenever they damned well feel like it, honestly. They don't stick to any schedule that I've been able to determine. They just, most of them, just come in half drunk and pick up what's owed to them, mess the place up a bit if you show any hesitation. But after what they did, after what they did to Mr. Dendragar, I would not think to not pay them.
Okay.
What do they do to him?
Well, he's a bit of a woodworker, a brilliant carver, honestly. But, well, they came to his house, and one of them made a rather crude comment towards his wife, and he stood up for them, and they pulled him into the street, and, well, there wasn't much left of him when they were done.
So he's dead?
Oh, I'm quite afraid so, yes.
It seems that that's putting it lightly, Daniel.
Yeah. Before anything else, I'd like to buy 4 things of ration.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna buy 10 cheese and 10 bread too, since we're...
Okay. When you
Or I've taken it out of my stuff.
when you guys bring the stuff up, he gladly accepts your coin. He says, "Thank you. So, I would gladly offer you a discount, but in these trying times, I'm afraid that I simply can't afford it. My sincerest apologies."
Oh, no, that's alright. Say, gang, do you want to I'll go over to the Sleeping Giant and show these guys what for?
What
Who
time
took the gold he gave us?
we got into town at what, midday?
No, it's actually pretty late. Sun's about to
Okay.
set right now. It's getting fairly dark out.
Fair enough.
I say we still do it.
Before we, just as a point of money math, did we divide this evenly, or is somebody holding this money? It seems
I don't
as
have
though.
any yet.
Okay, so let's just do a quick amount of bookkeeping then. That will split up what, 30 gold 5 ways.
You guys can take the 10 that you want. I'll just take 5.
Well, I'll hold on to my 10.
Okay.
Isn't that 6 gold apiece?
That is correct.
Yeah.
I believe there's 5 of us, right? There's 5 of us, and there's 30 gold, which means 6 gold per person.
Yeah, but I'll hold on to my 10.
But you
Well,
don't get it yet.
Morose, if it were certainly the 10 gold apiece we were all promised, It seems as though that would be an easier bargain to make.
All right, fine. I'll hold on to my 6.
That's fair.
I gave him 4 of mine and only take 2, so he can have his
There
10.
you go. Oh, Thaniel, you're the best. I'm glad you found your place and we're on the trail. You're
I'll
all
just
for
take
listening,
my
Captain.
6. Then.
Okay.
Do you happen to have any like vials on you too? You said you were fairly general.
Vials, yes. What do you need? Like oil, or need? Well, I'm not quite sure what you're looking for. Just empty vials, empty glass vials.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard of me, but I'm Paynar Pricklethorn. I'm making a poultice guide. I need some research material.
Oh, I have most decidedly not heard of you before, but I do wish
You will one day. Remember this. Meeting.
He does have glass vials on hand if you'd like to purchase them.
Yeah, I'll take 5 of them once I can find how much they are. I'll take 5.
Okay.
For gold apiece.
While everybody else is perusing the shop, I'm going to wander over to Elmer and slide him his 6 gold from me back and ask only that I'm allowed to restock my provisions for travel.
I should say so, sir. Thank you for your generosity. It's truly appreciated in such trying times.
Like you said, it's not you that owes us. It's in fact Gundren. We'll just hope that Gundren is in fact alive and well. And if it doesn't work out, I'll have to get my money from somewhere else.
Not alive and well is directly what I fear.
Well, we fear for the worse as well. But it being so late, it's a fearsome journey back into the woods to deal with brigands and goblins.
What do you think is the best place to stay at? Like any inns in town?
Yes, just around the way, there's the Stonehill Inn. It's fairly welcome accommodations, and I would highly recommend it. The Stonehill family are very nice, and they'd be happy to have your business right now. Though I would say they're faring quite a bit better now that the sleeping giant has been waylaid by those brigands.
Hmm. How many of them are there, anyway?
Oh, I don't know. It seems that they have more and more added to their numbers every time I see them.
So after he mentions that the Stonehill Inn is doing much better than the Sleeping Giant, can I insight to see if maybe he seems like he's okay with the fact that they're kind of running the town to shit?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a check.
I mean, he's obviously not happy. Oh wow, I'm starting the night off with
Wow.
another one.
Oh, Barney.
I have no clue.
He
You know?
seems genuinely upset by the presence of brigands in his town.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would expect,
He's
but
hard to read. You don't know if he's upset because Gundren's missing or because he just almost had to shell out all this money.
if I roll any more ones in the next like half an hour or so, I'm just getting dice out, and I'll send you pictures if I have to of what I'm rolling.
You're fine if you want to roll IRL, man. It's fine. Yeah,
I guess Barthen's earlier, and I believe my audio cut out for a second. There's not any law in this town that's helping to police this situation. There's no authority.
Well, there's not much of there's no city watch or guard, if that's what you're asking. Our local government, honestly, leaves a little to be desired. Every year, we elect a new town master, and there's not much he can do. He's a banker. He's a bookkeeper. We're folk here out on the frontier, and we look after each other. Unfortunately, we're just not not up to snuff when it comes to chasing off these ruffians.
Well, we do have some business to attend to of our own, but hopefully this evening maybe we can keep our ears to the ground to find out what's going on.
Of course, if you plan on staying in town for long, I'll be certain to send the Rockseeker brothers to find you. If the other two report in, they should be due for another supply run in the next day or so. They've been working out in the foothills, and they come in every 10 day to a fortnight to resupply. So if they show, I'll send them your way with payment. Rest assured.
You say the Rockseeker brothers. Would Barney know that Gundren had a brother before I go on this tangent?
How? No, we'll say no.
Okay, fair.
Yes. There are 3 of them, actually.
I didn't know that Gundren had a brother. Well, or
Yes,
2 for that fact.
Um, he says, yes, Gundren is the eldest, but there are 2 others. There's Tharden and Nundro. Gundren has been handling the mining equipment into the area. That's actually what you've delivered. And as you guys look over, those 2 teenagers are loading this box that's laden with shovels and picks. It's so heavy that one of them drops it on the porch and then looks at you guys awkwardly as you all look over. He lifts it back up, and then they kind of bring it all back inside. He says, well, it would seem that they've found something out there, because the only reason they come back into town is to get supplies or to order more things from Neverwinter.
So while we're all kind of congregating together, I'm gonna try and collect the attention of my other wagon mates and see what their course of action. Kind of feel them out, see what they want to do.
Okay.
I guess we do like a mini huddle within the store.
Yeah. Huddle up.
He goes, yeah, if you guys are done with him, he's going to set about unloading the boxes and putting away the wares that were just delivered.
Actually, I would like to buy a few rations before we have our huddle.
Absolutely.
You guys, at a game, I can provide rations for everybody as far as hunting.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we have enough, just in case.
Well,
Who knows if we somehow get separated later.
It's a no-cost ability for me to feed up to 5 extra people.
Oh,
Wow.
Well,
But I'm just saying,
cool.
if any of us get separated or anything, might as well just,
Well,
be
that's
safe.
fine. I'm just saying you guys don't have to all spend your money on food.
Got
yeah.
it.
I mean, for
That's
the
good to know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm saying
For
it
the,
because you would know that I would be able to hunt for you guys along the
Okay.
trail.
Understood.
Giancudo, I appreciate that, but I do think as a sign of goodwill, I'm just going to buy 2 rations, just because he did go give us the money, or at least the money to me that was owed.
No, that's fine. I'm just letting you guys know out of character that, rations
Yep.
would be not an issue.
yeah.
Got it.
So
Certainly,
nobody's
going to buy
starve.
less rations. I will certainly buy less rations now, but again, as a sign of goodwill, I'll buy 2 rations before we go to our huddle here. I'm not sure how much that's going to cost me.
I would be more than happy to sell them to you at half price, I suppose. Go ahead, take 2, 5 silver, please.
Thank you.
I say we stay in town for at least a day or 2 to see if those brothers.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe we go check out the Sleeping Giant Inn to see what all these ruffians
Yeah.
are doing.
Yeah, I'm very ready to go do that.
I think that
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
we're making that choice before we have all the information we need.
Well, I
Yeah,
think we might as well just do it.
I think the first thing we should do is talk to that
Lion Shield
Coster,
person. Yeah.
so that we can figure out if she knows about people being waylaid. And then I think we also need probably to get a room at Stonehill Inn, and we also need to talk to the magistrate or the town leader to find out if there's any reward for these red bands, if there's any reward for Gobliniers, if there's any other way that we can make money for those of us who are interested in money, and also, you know, if there's anything else that we might need to know from the town leadership.
All right. Should we
Those are
split
the
up
three
and like?
things- those are the three things that I see as
Yeah.
being priorities right now.
Got it.
Uh,
Should we split up and like some of us go to the Stonehill Inn and get some rooms, and the others should go to the Lion Shield coaster?
I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad plan. It is also almost nighttime. Is nobody concerned that the guy who sent us here is just like missing and probably dead? Like, are we just
That's why I wanna
gonna
go to
just
Lion
totally just hope that Gundren is just alive, crawling around the forest by himself?
No, I'm hoping that we'll get some answers from Lion Shield about who's attacking people on the road.
Yeah.
That's fair. So,
I mean-
do you want to make that like the first order of business in the morning then, and try and set off by midday to I mean, you were the one that scouted around by the goblins. Would it be
Yeah, the
sensible
only
to
thing-
try
well,
and
you know that
get
there's
back
a
to him?
goblin lair
Yep.
Yeah.
that there was a body dragged through too. That's something I've made known as
Sure.
far as getting further information. We may, I mean, obviously we probably need to get a room for the night. Inns are
That's
notorious
sure.
for having a bulletin board or something that is going to have information in them, as well as an innkeeper or bartender who's going to give us rumors and information.
Yeah, beautiful. Listen about town. Yep.
Right. The magistrate will also offer us, if there's a reward for, say, Gobliniers, if there's a reward for something else.
Yeah,
Red
we need to
band.
know
We're
this.
just
This is
praying
great
at a
information.
large goblin camp, but I imagine he'd reward us for that.
But
Or,
ultimately, my priority is to talk with the Lion Shield Coster, just figure out if they have any kind of clue about where our employer might have been waylaid, if it wasn't the goblins, or we can go back and check out the goblins if we don't get any other firm.
We're on the same page. We just
Yeah.
approach it from different angles. Everybody has the same concerns, just in a different way.
That's true.
She and Kudo, I just want to go in there and bash some heads, but I also feel like you're the most tactically adept at this, so I'm
Yeah.
ready to follow that plan of action. And I do think whether we go now or whether we wait until the morning, Gundren's already been dragged into a cave supposedly, so we don't. I feel like getting more information, getting some rest, I think could only be beneficial in this situation.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we should get the information first, then go
I
to.
think we should go to the Coster, because the inn will take us no matter what.
No matter what time. Yeah.
Unless you want to split, which is also.
Yeah, I think I might go to the town master hall. See if there's any rewards while you guys are out figuring out stuff about the Lion Shield cost.
Okay.
Yeah, and that stuff.
So what's the official plan here? I just want to know what I gotta get ready to go.
Okay.
I think
I'll say
Xian
this for
Kudo
me.
has this.
I am tactical, but I am not tactful.
Fair enough.
So don't rely on me to negotiate for you. I'll put an arrow up their ass, but I'm not going to sweet talk them.
Okay.
I think that with your
Let Brian do
knowledge
the
of
talking.
the forest, that you would still be the best bet to talk to the Coster lady, Leanne Greywing. If only for the fact that you can kind of relay where just the factual parts and gain the factual knowledge that we need. You don't really need to schmooze her.
Here's a question. It might be out of game. It might be in game. I'm not sure. I was scouting. Did we take the time to check out the horses other than they were full of arrows?
Yes. Somebody had gone through the bags to find that everything of any sort of value is taken, and also they turned up with an empty leather scroll case.
But do we know whose horses they were?
No.
No, but when I did my investigation, like the inference that I drew was that made sense that it was Gundren and the bodyguards' horses. Whether they were slain in the attack or not, they were definitely captured in some capacity.
All right. Well, that wasn't made clear to me. That's why I'm asking. So that we're going on the assumption that our employer and his bodyguard were ambushed by the goblins, and that in fact the body that I seen being dragged was probably those people.
Yes,
Is
that is the assumption.
Is that a safe
That's
assumption?
what we're operating
That
under
is very
right now.
safe. Yes.
Is that me jumping to a conclusion?
I
I
think
think you
that's
make
pretty
a fairly
good.
good.
I don't know. With your knowledge of goblins in the forest, do goblins regularly eat people? Are they just opportunistic
Absolutely.
eaters? I suppose.
Absolutely. They would definitely
Okay.
eat a dwarf, or at least torture a dwarf,
Sure.
or a human. Yes, they would absolutely. They would absolutely take them, if not for food, for sport.
So we don't need to assume the worst, but it's very likely that one or both of these people are dead.
Are dead.
And at this point, we'll gather the information that we can from town, obviously, with our current plan set forth of going to visit the Costers. Daniel, you said you want to talk to the town master?
That is correct. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
actually going to be of the opinion that they are not dead yet.
Okay.
That the goblins would be using them for sport.
Yeah.
And that we don't want to dilly-dally on this because they may still be alive.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to get the tactical plan of the next 24 hours, that if we can talk to some people for the evening, gather what information we can in the hours of twilight, and get a
And go
good
to
night
sleep.
rest, and hopefully set off by midday, because you definitely don't want to be fighting a bunch of goblins in the dark.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we're how far are we from the cave, Casey?
You guys are about a day's ride.
Okay.
So maybe
We
we
can
need to
take a
leave
ride- we
earlier
could-
than midday.
We can
Yeah.
take a day rest right there. Make
Go in the
camp.
morning.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should leave by tomorrow night at the latest if we expect them to be alive when we find them.
We don't have headlights on our horse and buggy that we won't have because we're all broke.
Of course, we all do have like we do.
Leave in the
Most of us
morning.
do have dark vision.
It doesn't matter. Just as a straight point.
Do we even have oxen in a wagon anymore, or was that part of the delivery?
That was
As
a
part of the
delivery.
delivery, you guys could always negotiate for it back if you needed it.
Fair enough. Okay.
We think we need it.
So, well, we need to be able to travel faster than on foot, because it wasn't a day by foot. It was a day with a cart and 2 oxen, and all that is slow. It's still not
Yeah.
walking speed slow. I think we've got enough that we can at least do this and not, beat the minutia to death. It sounds like Daniel's going to talk to the town master. She and somebody are going to talk to the Lion Shield Coster. Maybe.
I will do it, but I probably should have somebody with me that has a better.
Like Barney. Barney could definitely.
I think Barney, you should go with she.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine. So,
I'll go back to
Paynar-
Barthen. I'll go back to Barthen's and negotiate for the oxen wagon.
okay. Paynar, do you feel good about getting us a room for the night so that we're not just maybe listening in on some tavern conversation?
Yeah, do you want to stay at the Stonehill or at the Lost
Let's-
Giant's Foot or whatever?
Let's stay
Sleepy
at
Giant.
Stonehill, because it's less likely that we'll get robbed at night, but it is so close to the Sleeping Giant that if we find something to do of ill repute in the dead of night, we could wander over there.
All right, I just know that Morose is looking for a fight, and I figure Sleeping Giant would be the
Yeah,
next place to go.
well, maybe Morose and I will sneak over there and rough some fellas
maybe,
up.
Maybe we'll go murder some guys.
What am I, chopped liver?
That might be a project for when we get back.
Yeah, I mean,
Depending
Well, it
on what they
depends.
tell us at Lion Shield. I mean, if
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
say that it's probably the red brands or whatever the hell they're called, then sure, but
We'll go along with it.
all of the evidence points towards being the goblins north
Yep.
of us.
Yep.
So if we don't get more positive confirmation from Lion Shield, I think that's our first course of action. And I don't think we want to open a second can of worms. And this this is where we would be fighting a two-front battle.
For sure.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember
Okay, so just to avoid, talking this over for too much longer, Barney and she are going to Lion Shield Coster. Rose is staying to negotiate travel for the morning. Thaniel is going to the town master, and Paynar is going to, I don't know, wander about the Stonehill Inn and see if he can get us some rooms or a room. I don't know what their situation is. Hopefully, we're not sleeping in the stable for the night.
Okay.
We have a time and a place we're reconvening.
I'm probably going to sleep in a tree anyway.
0 dark 30. No. So
Meet me at the stone.
what do we have
We'll all go
for
back
daylight? Yeah.
Okay.
What do we have for daylight, Casey?
You get another hour and a half.
So then let's all figure at sundown head back to Stonehill, and I mean, I don't know. We'll call it an hour because I don't have a way to measure non-fantasy time. But yeah, if it gets much past dark and we're not all here, maybe, I don't know, find new traveling companions. Because we're probably dead, Just saying.
From the looks of it, I don't think any of us are going more than 250 feet from here.
Yeah,
it's pretty close.
A very small town. Very small town, mostly made out of timbers. However, you do see that, again, ringing around the town, kind of, spattered all throughout it, are the ruins and the remains of what were probably stone buildings at one time. Some of those stones have been incorporated into some of the larger buildings, Barthen's Provision being one of them. Some of the buildings, usually most of the houses, are made simply with the timbers set on them. So, yeah.
So we're looking at a rebuilt town that was previously occupied and probably destroyed or abandoned.
It looks that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody want to go first, or do you want to make an initiative check to see who gets to do their little mission first? I don't care which way we do it.
I guess we could do initiative.
Sure. Everybody make me initiative checks.
Gimme. Ooh. Oh.
Right.
There you go. Alex, you got any?
Yeah, on an initiative check for social stuff.
Winners can be choosers.
Exactly. That is the theme of the adventure.
Well, you know what? That fits me perfectly. I am not social.
Well, neither am I, so it's fine.
What am I missing here, Paynar? All right. Barney and Shankudo. You walk into the town square and immediately take notice of a fairly well-built building. Farm stones making up the first layer of the building before the timbers take over. Hanging above the front door is a small, modest sign. It's shaped like a wooden shield with a blue lion painted on it. Inside, you can see that in the waning daylight hours, a lantern has been lit. And you can see a shadow moving around inside as somebody's moving inside the building. What would you like to do?
Oh, sorry. I checked my messages at the wrong time. Was that towards... So we get to...
Well, this is just a store, right?
Okay.
Yeah, right here.
So we just go in.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with she.
As you guys enter into the building, you can see that it is a rather small shop. Inside are several, uh, not several. There are several shelves, but they are sparsely populated with different finished goods, mostly metalsmith goods. However, there are some items here and there that you simply wouldn't find at a general goods store. You see uh, climbing equipment. There's uh, some weaponry that lies about on some of the shelves. It is all very well taken care of. However, this place is clearly lacking in supply. As the bell tolls, you see a woman step through a curtained area behind the counter from the back of the store. She looks out at you. She's a human woman, probably in her mid 30s. She has a pretty noticeable scar on her cheek, and she looks at you, um, lacking the warmth and hospitality of someone who owns a shop that you would expect. She steps in. She says, "We're about to close up."
You'll have to forgive us showing up so late. We just arrived in town with a delivery to Barthen's. I
Oh,
know.
you're bringing my goods. What the hell took you so long? I really, really have been waiting for these. I sent
Un-
out word a week and a half ago that you were waylaid.
yeah, we encountered a band of goblins on the trail here. Managed to escape their ambush, but it seems as though Gundren might not have made it through. Uh, we
Gundren?
did
Who's
hear that.
Gundren?
Ooh,
Wait. Where'd you come from?
Neverwinter.
Neverwinter. So you're not
Mm,
bringing my supplies then, I suppose.
Well, we're here to talk about that. We have to make a journey out tomorrow morning to try and find where some of the deliveries have been going. They seem to have not made it to Phandelin on more than one occasion, especially for the coster here. And that's actually why we're here. I know it's the hour's late, but we wanted to talk to you about what's been going on with your deliveries. You say now that you've asked for deliveries more than once, and they've been delayed a full week.
Oh,
So at this
shoot.
time, she kind of, the harshness in her face kind of fades away, and she kind of like uh, goes up and adopts a less defensive posture,
Sure.
and kind of leans her table on her head, or leans her elbow on the table, starts to stroke her head. She says, I'm sorry. It's just been rough out here for us. Yeah, I was supposed to receive a delivery about 2 weeks ago now at this point, but
Of what goods in particular, in case we were to come across them?
well, um, hold on. Let me look through my ledgers. There were some weapons and armor, particularly. I don't know if you've ever been to a Lion Shield Coster before.
No, this is
Um,
my first time.
um,
You
well,
like a
we're
Costco?
I'm not certain what a Costco is. Is that a competitor? But
It's something from Rivers Deep.
um, she says to you, but we supply goods to small, up and coming towns on the frontier. Uh, really, we distribute things to where they need. I just simply haven't been getting what I need on my shelves here, and we've really hurt for it. I'm honestly in trouble of having to shut down that with the red brands on top of it.
It's the second time we've heard that name since we've arrived in town. That they are a band of people claiming to be mercenaries, but are little more than bandits.
Yeah, you can say that again. I stand up to them, but I simply don't know that I would get me far.
We
Uh,
were unfortunately told the tale of Dendrager, and we wouldn't like to see that happen to any more people.
no, no,
Mistress
especially with
Greywind, Do they mainly work in extortion, or would they be somebody that would take hijack a shipment, or that's kind of a not necessarily the type of thing you would think would happen for a group of brigands that is operating out of the town itself.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them. Um, they're uh, they're they'll deal in anything it seems that brings them money or power. They've shaken down most of the businesses and people here for coin, and those who don't pay or won't are beaten or worse.
But they haven't offered to sell you back your goods.
No, I honestly don't know if they take it. I would suspect it would be beyond them.
Most concerned.
I tend to think that if they're shaking you down for protection anyway, that if they were to take a caravan, they would probably try to sell you back your goods at a markup.
It's not a bad line of thought, I almost wonder if they're maybe trying to beat out the competition of supplying the frontier. But
Who knows if they're just taking the supplies because they need them, like the swords and armor. I'm not here. Never mind.
yeah,
That would be something that I would expect out of a group that's motivated and mercantile, not necessarily an extortion racket. I could be wrong, but it seems like it's a different MO.
It's possible. I don't have a lot of experience in these types of things. I'm sorry.
don't be sorry. The most we can do is tell you that when we go out to find Mr. Rockseeker, that perhaps we'll come across your goods and perhaps even be able to bring some of them back to the coster.
Yes. Well, anything that came from us would be shipped in a crate, sealed, with the same symbol on it that is above our door outside, the shield with the lion on it. I was expecting some finished items, weaponry, crossbows, bolts, things of that nature.
Oh.
Things to help protect the people out here on the frontier.
Absolutely.
If you
Um,
were to find them and recover them, I'd pay you for your troubles. You can rest assured. I don't have much, but once I do have those goods back, they'll sell quickly. There's a need for them, and I'd be happy to pay you up front.
so, although our conversation is meandered and
Up front.
we're obviously on the frontier, this is just me, Alex. I'm gonna insight when she says there's need for them,
Okay.
because it feels just a little out of place.
Mhm.
I kind of want to know if like maybe
Ooh.
what that need could be other than just the defense of a town.
So what you're picking up from her is she's genuinely a little bit frazzled and fraught. She is, uh, she's referring to the fact that this town is a week away from the nearest city, and it has no law. The people here take the protection of themselves into their own hands, right? So, um, especially with the red brands, and from what you guys have gathered, there's at least goblins in the area. Any prospectors or people in the town who want to venture outside of the center of the buildings here will need some sort of weapon to do that.
Sure.
Is that common knowledge that we're a week away from any other settlement?
Yeah. You're not away from any other settlement. There are other little villages and things. However, any like major anything that would have any sort of standing guard or
But my
ability
point
to
is, there's
protect.
no other community that would offer her wares, you know, if they were the ones that hijacked. And nobody here is trying to sell them back or sell them to anybody else, as far as
Not,
she knows.
not to your knowledge. Nope. Nope.
Okay. I step over to she briefly and turn away from her. Say, I think we have what we need from this woman. Um, mm, she seems very forthwith, and when we venture back into the woods, it seems like we can make a little bit of money if we were to return some of the Lion Shield's goods.
I agree, and to me, it appears that there's a better than average chance that whoever waylaid her goods also waylaid our employer.
I agree.
And being that nothing is being offered for sale in this town, I doubt it's the Red Brands, because where's the profit in them going a week away to sell goods?
Yep.
I don't see it being the way they do business. I don't see how the evidence points towards them. I think that our answers lie to the north.
Yes. And on that note, I'm going to slip over to the counter real quick, and I pull out a letter. It's the letter from the guild that I carry with me, and I show it to Leanne and ask if there is a Lady Thornton somewhere in town.
Oh, you're talking about Hallie. Yes, she runs the miners exchange. Just just behind us, actually, here, on the way out to the miners trail, dealing with weights and measures, buying off things that some of the odd prospectors bring back into town.
Thank you for the information. We'll be on our way.
Of course. Okay. Next up, Thaniel.
Oh, Casey, by the way, I may have deleted my player icon.
It's all right. I'll figure it out. You are up next. As you approach the Townmaster's Hall, here, 1 second. Let me get you your little dude back. Where are you? Boom, boom, boom. There you go.
There. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. As you approach the Townmaster's Hall, you see that it is a building made of sturdy stone. It has a pitched wooden roof, and there's a bell tower posted on the back of the building.
Okay.
On a small board next to the front door is a notice. It reads, "Reward. Orcs near Wyvern Thor.
Ooh.
Those of a mind to face the orc menace should require within." The notice has an official-looking seal on the bottom of it and an illegible signature.
Okay. So is the door like? So it's like a hall, so I can just walk in.
Yep.
All right, so I walk. What do I?
Okay, as you push the front door, it looks like inside there's a gathering place. Looks like a small meeting hall. At the back, you can see the door is cracked, and there's candlelight spilling out.
All right. Do I see anybody?
I'm sorry.
Do I see anybody?
As you stand in the doorway, no. If you move through and go to the office, maybe.
I do not move anywhere. I yell out in a very loud voice, Where is the town master?
Oh! You hear a voice in the back. As you hear paper shuffle and a voice say, oh, just a moment, just a moment. As you stand in the general meeting hall, a rather large frame fills the doorway as a heavy-set man with a short, trim haircut, balding at the top, comes stepping into the main hall. He's fairly well dressed, and you can see that he's kind of straightening himself up as he approaches. He says, "It's quite late. Who goes there?"
I am Thaniel Airden. I am a paladin. We just brought a bunch of supplies into Barthen's Provision.
Good for you.
I would like to ask you a few questions.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't have time right now. Maybe come back tomorrow and see if we can, have some time to talk. He turns around to go to leave.
I make an intimidation check.
Okay. 16. Okay, what do you say for your intimidation check?
I say, I cannot wait until tomorrow.
So in his best bravado, you yell that at him. Turns around and he kind of squints at you, again to size you up. Well, what do you want to know? I suppose I can set aside a bit of time. I am quite busy, though.
Oh, I do. I'm pretty sure this would be for the well-being of your town, actually.
So, what would you like to know?
What are those thieves and, well, I should say gangsters that are at the Sleeping Giant?
Gangsters outside the Sleeping Giant? I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
Like the Red something?
Red Brands?
Yes.
Oh, it's a mercenary company passing through town time and again. They seem to have taken a liking to the place.
Are you aware that they are killing your people and stealing from them?
Stealing? No, I've heard tales that they're well, some people don't like the mercenary band coming through, but they generate good business, and I've not heard any solid complaints from any of the town folk. Honestly, I find them to be no trouble at all.
Uh-huh. I saw the orc poster outside. Is there any other, like, rewards for doing any deeds? Like, I've heard some things about goblins up north on the Tribord Trail.
Oh, now you're speaking my language. There's an area to the east of here known as the Wyvern Tor, a group of foothills. We've had reports from some of the prospectors that use the town as their base. Reports that orc bands have been moving through the area. Some of them are saying they're afraid to continue mining out in that area. Well, we can't have that, so they've taken up a collection that they've entrusted to me, and I am prepared to offer a reward for anyone who can bring back proof that they've run the orcs away.
Oh. And nothing about any goblins up to the north?
Goblins? No, goblins are a constant nuisance, but no, we've not had
One of my
any.
friends has said that he found a goblin lair.
Goblin lair? Where?
Up north on the Tribord Trail.
Well, at this time I don't know of any, and all of the money has been allocated to ridding the orcs. The orcs are what people are concerned about, and as the town master, that is what I will do.
Understood. So let me get this straight. You're fine with the red whatever they are in your town.
The red brands are, well, they're no different than you, I suppose, walking in and demanding answers. No, it's the way of the world. People shouldn't be so soft.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I will not trouble you anymore. Good day.
Right. See that you close the door on your way out. He turns to go back to his office.
I walk out, but I did not close it.
Okay.
Subtle slight.
Very good.
I am very angry that he does not care about the protection of the common people. Very angry about that.
Morose. Unless so the camera pans back to you. Barthen and his two lackeys are unpacking some of their goods and restocking the shelves. Things like rope, pittons, different mining equipment, some general dried goods, rice, things of that nature. As everybody breaks, he looks up to see that you're still there.
Elmer,
He's just been standing there.
Elmer, I've got another favor to ask potentially. We're going to wake in the morning to go see if we can locate Gundren Rockseeker. And we do need some transportation. Is there any way we can get the oxen and cart back, or do you have a suggestion maybe for something else that we could use?
Well, beast of burden are at a bit of a premium out here, but you say you're going after Gundren. He's become something of a friend of mine, so I'll give you use of the oxen. Not a problem at all. Just, if you can, try to bring him back safe.
No promises. I will do my best though to protect those animals, especially from the paladin.
As you're speaking with him, he kind of gestures for the two young gentlemen. He says, just leave those there and run home, boys. We'll finish up here tomorrow. And as they kind of like, you watch for the first time as life is breathed in their faces, and they excitedly run out the door, having finished their work for the day. He looks at you and he says, some things never change, huh? Boys, take 4 hours to unpack a box, and they'll be home before I finish the sentence. You can be sure of that. Gundren, I'm concerned for him. He and his brothers are working on something that could really, really put Phandelver on the map, and I would really appreciate it if you could discover what has happened to him. He's become a dear friend of mine, and you can tell your compatriots that I'm willing to pay what I can for his safe return. I'll chip in all of the gold you've given back, as well as anything I can scrape together in the meantime. I can't stress this enough that this city will fail if we don't have some sort of income. Different prospectors show up and arrive, and they find that these hills aren't exactly teeming with the gold and silver, as well as the stories tell. Many of them have moved on already.
Well, that's very interesting, Elmer. That definitely speaks to me, and it speaks to my fellow adventurers. Can you provide me a little bit more insight as to what the Rockseeker brothers are working on? You implied that they're working towards something maybe bigger.
Yes, I wasn't sure how much Gundren had told you when he hired you on, but well, they've found a mine, not just any mine, an old mine. Do you know much about how our little town here got started?
No, I do not.
Something like 400 to 500 years ago. Much too old for my blood, my memory. Um, there was a town here by the same name of Phandelver. And nearby, it's rumored that there was an ancient mine known as Wave Echo Cave. Inside this cave, there was rare ore that were mined by dwarves and gnomes alike. The town prospered.
Elmer, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you there. What did you say was found in the mine?
Uh, rare ores.
Rare ore?
Ore. Like what you make metal out of.
Yes.
Does you these ores, some legends say, harbored innate magical abilities. Now, this area was overrun by orcs long ago, but we've recently gotten a new foothold here, and I, for one, as the primary seller of goods and wares, would like to see it take off. The Rockseeker brothers have mentioned this to me several times, and I hope that I've not betrayed their trust in informing you of this, but I'm afraid that I'm feeling a bit uneasy. See, if Gundren indeed has gone missing, and his brothers usually have come back in by now, I'm hoping to see them in the next few days. I worry that maybe something has happened to them. I can't afford to have myself and my family and my business go under, so anything you can do to help assure their safety would be considered as a personal favor to me, and I will pay.
Well, Elmer, again, I like the sound of that, and I think that my fellow compatriots were concerned about Gundren Rockseeker as well. Could you tell me a little bit more about this mine? Where is this mine located?
I don't know. That's a question, isn't it? We
It's a
have
question for the Rockseekers.
we have many different prospectors coming through looking for such places. Some believe the old stories, others find them to be just ghost stories. But uh, but the Rockseeker brothers seem excited that they found something, and I can't think of what else it might be.
Well, very interesting, Elmer. I appreciate you sharing this information with me, as well as lending us the oxen and the cart. Can
Course.
we leave the ox and the cart with you tonight and pick it up in
Yes.
the morning?
I will see to it that they are fed and ready for departure in the morning.
Thank you, Elmer.
Of course. Have a good night, Mr. Morose.
Mr. Morose.
Okay. Mr. Morose.
And a good evening to you as well, Mr. Barthens.
As he leads you out, he ushers you out the door, not in a rude way, but as soon as you're outside, he bids you a good night, closes the door, and locks it. You hear click, 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 click. Yeah. All right, we're gonna cut over to Paynar. Paynar, as you step foot into the Stonehill Inn. You find that standing in the center of town is a large, newly built roadhouse. It sits on top of on top of old fieldstones, and has rough-hewn timbers that makes up the bulk of the structure. As you step in through the front door, you see that the room is filled with local persons sitting and nursing mugs of ale or cider. As you step in, many of them eye you with curiosity. not recognizing you as a member of the town. However, nobody seems to pay too much attention, as most of them turn back to their small conversations and their drinks.
All right. I'm gonna walk up to whoever the bartender is and see about some of this cider that I'm hearing so much.
Okay. Behind the bar is a short, friendly, friendly-looking human who gives you a warm smile as you step up. He's probably in his early 40s. He has brownish hair, and he gives you a big smile, and he says, "Hello there. New traveler, is it?"
Yeah, I'm new to town. My name is Paynar. What is yours?
"Oh, my name's Toblin Stonehill. Folks around here call me Tobble."
Tom, you said?
Tobble. Like cobble, but with a
Oh,
T.
that's fair.
I
So what
so
are all
what's
these
your
fine folks here drinking tonight?
Go ahead.
So what are all these fine folks drinking tonight?
Oh, we've got a lovely cider. It's freshly made right here from our own Edinburgh orchards. Or we've got a lovely warm toasted ale. Which it would be?
I'll take the cider. That sounds delightful.
Well, cider coming right up. It's going to be a silver piece, if you don't mind.
I toss them two and tell them to get one of them from.
Oh, I can't drink while I'm on the job.
Well, after the job, you have to get off some.
He scoops up the 2 silver pieces and hands you the mug. And he says, "When you own the place, you're never really off the job, you know?"
That's true. It looks like business is booming.
Oh, yeah. We've got quite a few customers coming here. Mostly because, well, the Sleeping Giant is overrun with those folk of ill repute, we'll call them.
It's the second time I've heard of that tonight.
Oh, they're the talk of the town around here. The Red Brains, they call themselves. Real nasty folk. As he says that, a woman walks by. She's slightly taller than him. She looks to be about the same age, early 40s. She's wiping out a mug as she moves behind the bar, and she says, "Right nasty ones they are."
With you guys being so busy, do you happen to have a few rooms available for me and my fellow travelers?
Oh, how many of there are there?
5?
Oh, well, we have 6 rooms for rent. However, right now 3 of them are full. If you guys don't mind doubling up, or maybe tripling up, yeah, I suppose that I could accommodate.
Yeah, I'll take 3 of those rooms, please.
Well, I only have 2, so I'm sorry. Nope, I did my math wrong. I do have 3. See, that's why I'm wrong. Right, so 3 rooms, and you said for 5 people. I usually charge a silver a night per person, but since you're doubling up, it'll just be 3 silver pieces, boys.
Oh, thank you. Is there any chance I could get some meals sent up there for?
Oh, of course. We've got a lovely boar caught this morning. I'll send some up as soon as it's ready. Till then, go ahead, acquaint yourself with all these fine folks around town, and welcome to Phandelver.
Oh, thank you very much.
He goes back to work. As he goes back to work, you see, as you turn around to survey the room, you see that there's an older man sitting at a table. He has on a sun hat. His skin is darkened from exposure to the sun, and he has deep-set wrinkles. He has a big bushy beard, and he seems pretty well muscled, sitting drinking by himself. At the next table, you can see there's two gentlemen. Both are dusty and covered with grime. One is a dwarf, the other is a human. They're talking quietly amongst themselves, and then halfway through the conversation, you see a young woman. She's human. Come up. She's wearing a bright smile and not much else. And she walks up to the two gentlemen, and you can see their moods brighten right up as she leans in and brings them two fresh drinks, takes the two empty glasses off the table, and walks away. And then sitting in another corner, there's an older woman who is knitting or crocheting. I don't know that you know the difference.
I definitely don't.
And telling a story to a young child who's probably 6, maybe 7, who is half paying attention, half playing with a small wood. And as you finish, getting the rooms in unison as only celluloid can deliver, everybody walks through the front door at the same time.
Ta-da!
Oh.
There really is magic in this world.
Everybody sees the same scene that I've described to Tyler, as your characters all step through the front door.
My cider is done. Can I wave Thobler back over and get us all?
Are you sitting at a table?
I was still standing at the bar.
Okay, yeah. He is off. However, the same woman of middling age who was behind the bar reaches out and says, "Another for you, sir."
Actually, can I get 5 more from my friends who just came?
Absolutely. And she pours 5 drinks and sets them down on the bar, all cider. So I hope you guys like cider. As all 5 of you approach the bar.
Here you go, mate.
Paladin, are you old enough to drink cider?
Paynar,
Wait, what?
what is this?
It's this local concoction they make out of apples, I believe. They call it cider.
Smell it. Is this poison? Is this what what do you do with this?
You drink it. Think of it like an ale.
I don't know about this.
If you don't want it, I'll happily take it back.
I didn't say that. I didn't. Barney is very casually sipping what he clearly doesn't enjoy.
Right.
Ooh,
Yeah,
this is good, Paynar. Thanks.
Everybody tries the cider. It is very sweet. It is not a dry cider. It's very clearly not aged very long. It does have quite an alcoholic kick, but it's light and fizzy and sweet.
Okay. I am visibly angry and I'm not drinking.
I'm just gonna take his glass, and if he's not drinking it, I'm just gonna take. I'm not gonna waste my silver.
Okay, are you guys all standing at the bar? Are you gonna get a table? What's the action?
I think I'm going to walk over to the older gentleman.
Okay.
I say that we should probably get a booth to discuss, or maybe even where are the rooms?
Probably upstairs.
Discuss some of this in public.
Yeah, they're upstairs.
Classic Dungeons and Dragons bar.
Yeah, gotta have the rooms upstairs.
Yes.
That's how it
I
works.
mean, the Sleeping Giant is a classic.
Yeah, it's a
So,
classic.
So as you guys, as you can see, there's a staircase that leads to a small hallway that extends out towards the back of the building, over where the bar and presumably the kitchen are. However, you're standing in the gathering tap room, as it were. Um,
I still say that we should, get a table and just make merry and relax for the evening, since tomorrow is likely going to be a hectic day.
Okay.
But going
I'm in
over our
agreement with you,
plans
Barney.
should be in private, we'll say.
okay.
I got meals sent up to the room. Might as well go up and eat them. Anyway.
Oh,
Uh,
meals, you say?
I believe he said it was bored.
As you
Oh.
guys are debating on where to go, you can see that same barmaid come out. She's all smiles and sunshine again. And balancing on her arms are 5 plates with freshly sliced meat and some different root vegetables that have been stewed, set to the side. Uh, she looks like most any other human you would see carrying this many plates would be a little put off, but she's gracefully handling herself as she walks up and she says, "So where are you sitting, boys?"
The open table in the corner.
Okay. She makes her way. She makes her way to the open corner of the table, and she sets them down, and then arranges them all. And then she kind of palms her forehead. She goes, "Forgot utensils. I'll be right back." And she kind of like happily skips past you, batting her eyes, doing her best to look cute and happy and barmaidy.
I
She
grab
goes,
my plate and take it over to the older gentleman.
"Okay."
Weird.
I'm never buying this kid stuff again. He doesn't take the cider. He doesn't drink. He doesn't eat with us.
I mean, I'm just gonna go eat over with the older man. Trying to be friendly. And all.
Yeah, very gracious. Very gracious. Thanks, Aaron Ray.
I'm angry. I don't know what you
Uh,
want from me.
What are you doing?
I'm looking around the room to see if there's anybody here that catches my eye that might have any that I think might have I don't know, any information about what we're getting into.
So is Barney, Paynar, Shay, and Morose sit down to eat? Evan, I'm sorry. I thought I heard you say that you're gonna stick with Barney. Is that right?
I thought that Barney's idea of getting a table was the right thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Thaddeus walks over, snatches his plate without saying a word, walks away from you guys. And
I look at him incredulously.
and as he walks away with his plate, the barmaid comes back with forks and knives set for 5. And she reaches over and she sets them all down in front of you, making eye contact with each and every one of you as she does it. And then she holds the extra fork and knife in her hand, and she turns around to see him moving over towards the farmer. And she goes, "Should I leave it here? Bring it. I'm gonna leave these here for him."
Yeah, that's good. We appreciate you bringing these out. We
Of course.
don't know what that guy's deal is. He just took the food and walked away from us. I don't know. I guess I'll use 2 forks for dinner.
Sometimes it be like that, She kind of smiles. She says, "My name is Elsie, and if you need anything else, be sure to let me know, okay?" She walks away to go check on another table. Um, Nathaniel,
Yep.
as you walk over, you see that there is a man wearing simple clothes, like I said, large beard. He's wearing a Strawson hat, and as you approach, he takes another pull from his mug and then looks up at you while he's drinking and sets it back down on the table. He says, "Good night." Can I help you, sir?
I said, oh, I would just like to sit here if that's all right with you.
Look, I've already paid. Just last week, I gave up all my silver. I've not made any back yet. Okay.
Oh, I'm not here for anything money. I'm an adventurer. I just came here.
Uh, okay. He looks very confused. And he kind of gestures to the empty table across from, or the empty chair across from him. Says, he kind of rolls his eyes and like looks back around the bar, and he looks over at the other four who are sitting at the table, squints, trying to figure out what's going on.
We shrug. Oh.
What can I do for you?
Oh, nothing really. I'm just, around here. I just like to get better acquainted with the people here.
Okay. You got a name?
My name is Daniel Airden.
Oh. Name's Narth.
Nice to meet you.
He doesn't shake hands.
I didn't try to.
Right, he doesn't offer at all. Says he's gonna just keep drinking in silence then.
Yeah. Now, what are the guys that's like red something, like Redburn? Something?
Red Brand.
Red brand. I need to write this down, but I have nothing to write.
Red band.
We cut back over to the table of four. What are you guys doing?
Really trying to ham it up like I love this cider almost as much as I actually love the beer. Ooh, like it's one of those things when you open a drink that's too sweet and it takes you like way too long to drink it. So like everybody else may be halfway and I like haven't even made it through the first quarter.
Oh,
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yep.
Well, I think we've got some things to discuss. That's for certain.
Yes.
Yeah. How did you make out with the oxen?
So Elmer's keeping our oxen in cart for us for the morning. He said he'll have them fed and ready for us to go whenever we are ready. Also had some interesting information to share about Gundren Rockseeker, and I guess the Rockseeker brothers in general. Informed me that they've found a mine that they believe may have been abandoned for the past 500 years or so that has a rare ore of some kind. Eventually,
Well,
I guess to get five. Yes, Barney.
That's a very peculiar thing to just be out in the middle of nowhere like this. Maybe there's more to these rock seekers than we.
It could very well be. Legend has it that this ore. Legend has it that this ore has some kind of magic ability. And apparently, this mine has been abandoned for again 500 years as it was overrun by orcs, and it appears that the Rockseeker brothers are doing something to perhaps revive this mine. Again, Elmer couldn't provide me any more information, but he was willing to pay handsomely if we could bring Gundren back into town safely, as well as make sure the other Rockseeker brothers are if we run across them, are safe as well. He said that the future of the town kind of was in the Rockseeker brothers' hand.
So it's very important that Gundren, at the very least, is found. Hopefully, he's still in survivable health. I can't even say good health at this point. Survivable health is my greatest wish at the moment.
Does he know where this mine is?
He did not. He was unable to share that with me.
Okay.
Did not know.
We probably won't have any luck finding the brothers.
No, but earlier, before we left Elmer, he did say that they do stop in town every few days for provisions. So it's likely that if we time all of this correctly, we may end up being able to get back when they come to resupply.
I did think that the Rockseeker brothers were due to be in town in the next day or two. Again, depending on red bands and the goblins and all the other willy-nillys that occupy the woods.
Well, Thaniel seems to have found a bearded cohort, so we'll have to find out what he was doing later.
The gentleman that you're eating with continues to. He doesn't have any. Just drinking. Sit there awkwardly in silence and look you up and down as you, I assume, eat.
Yeah. I
Okay.
ask him, do you know anything about the Red Bryn?
Bunch
said,
of no
"Oh, I'm
goods.
kidding."
Bunch of no good layabouts trying to earn coin off of our hard work.
That's what I thought. It seems to be that your town master seems to be okay with them here.
He's a pompous ass, if you ask me.
That's what I kind of thought.
Yeah, well, there's not much that he could do against him. Not much any of us could do.
Well, maybe there's something that me and my friends could do.
Yeah. Well, as long as you don't make things worse for the rest of us doing it.
Yep. So when I started talking, you said something about silver pieces? Are you a
Me?
farmer?
Yep. He points to
Seems-
this, like he looks up at his sun hat and his clearly farmer's garb and says,
Yep.
"Yep." For the first time, you notice he has a pitchfork leaning against the table.
My perception.
Um,
So I asked him, are you in some kind of debt?
no, I don't owe nothing to nobody. His eyes kind of squint when you say that.
So I
Says,
can tell he's lying.
I always pay my dues, and I pay my dues, I say my prayers, and I keep my nose out of others' businesses, and there ain't nothing else about that.
He says prayers. I'm like, prayers? Wait,
Yep.
oh, who's your god? I get very excited.
He says, well, there's a priestess here. Good lady.
When he says priestess, my face drops.
He says, she told me about a god, Timora, Lady of Luck. Well, I've been praying, and lately we ain't had much luck. I guess the crops are coming in pretty nice, but
Well, that's always good to hear.
says, yep, I keep those damn red brands though. They come out there, come begging for money, even from us or farmers.
Well, that's terrible to hear. I reach into my pocket, give him a gold piece.
I ain't taking charity from nobody. He slides it back to you,
I say, well, I insist.
and then he slides it back to you again. He says, "No, I insist. Look, I know you mean well, but ain't nothing for free out here. I ain't gonna take your money and owe you no favors, that's for sure."
Understood. You got a birthday coming up or something?
He looks back at you and then back over at your friends who are talking, and then back at you. He says, "Maybe it's best if you go and you talk to your own friends, right? Look,
I
if
say-
you want to do me a favor, you check in with the sister down at the Shrine of Luck.
All right.
All right? She left town a couple days back, came back. She was pretty beat up, pretty tired. You make sure she's doing all right. We're fair and square, all right?"
Understood.
Right.
So I said, bid him good day. I pick up my food, and then I go back, and I'm sad again and angry, just for my friend.
And angry.
Yes.
So you're sitting with us now?
Yeah, I'm sitting with you now, and
You owe me a silver.
I look
I
at
only
him.
pay for meals if they eat it with me, so you owe me a silver piece.
I look at him and I continue eating. I don't care.
So are you giving me a silver piece?
I reach into my pocket and give him a gold piece.
Thank you.
Can I get a gold piece too?
Shut up.
I mean, if we're just handing them out.
Ain't no handout.
Well, I mean, I just watched you try and give that man a bunch of gold. We didn't really know what was going. He kept looking over here, like I don't know. We were supposed to do something about you wandering around in full armor inside of a bar. I don't know. While you were gone, we talked about all the things we learned about town. Whew, it's quite a doozy.
Uh-huh. I continue eating. I'm not really paying attention to what they're saying. I'm just eating.
What did the magistrate say to you?
I stand up, bang both of my fists on the floor, say, he's the most stubborn fat man I have ever seen in my entire life, and he needs to die.
Whew.
That's not what he said to you, though.
Dave, if I could give double inspiration, I would.
Yeah, forget about that. He has no reward for the Redbrand, whatever the heck they are. I'm terrible with names. I do not care. But it seems that everybody I've ever talked to, that these people are a nuisance to them, but the town master doesn't care. There is no reward for any goblins or anything, even though he knows that they're a nuisance. But there is some good, I guess. There was a poster down, I think they said to the east of here, there are some orcs, and he would pay us to get rid of them.
I assume that because you stood up and slammed your fists on the table, you're not having it particularly quietly.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
the dwarven man and the human who are sitting kind of having a quiet conversation, you see the dwarf excuse himself from the table and come over towards you guys.
Mm.
He's covered in dirt and soot. It looks like he's been outside for at least a handful of days. And as he gets close, you can tell that his odor is just as bad as his physical appearance. He smells a little bit like wet dog mixed with coal.
oh, nice.
As he comes up, he brings his mug with him, takes a deep drink, and as he clears his mouth with the back of his hand, he says, "You're talking about the orcs out there, are you?
Yes, that is
Oh,
correct.
you're gonna go out and you're gonna take care of them, I hope."
I
"Oh,
think
yes."
that might be the plan.
He looks at you guys. He says, "I tell you, my partner and I were just talking about it. We've been working out in those foothills for the last few months, and as soon as we think we've found a good spot to start excavating, really make our money back, sure enough, orcs come. We're lucky that my partner noticed them before they were upon us, able to get away, but they took all of our mining equipment out there.
Mm.
We're not going to be able to continue out here unless they're taken care of."
I see.
What
Do you see how it... Probably
Well,
ores.
Yeah. They say that these hills are rich with gold and platinum. It falls out of the soil as hand down. Oh, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but we seem to have found a pretty good spot. Maybe a bit of promise to it. And well, as soon as we do, wouldn't you know, our luck's changed and we're back here.
Mm. How big do the orcs travel in? Like, what size of a pack? How many, roughly?
A war band at least.
And that would be...
A lot. I don't know, I didn't really get a good count. You know, your friend says orcs are coming, you kind of grab what you got and run.
Mm.
I'd imagine probably somewhere around 20, maybe 30 of them.
Oh.
As he says that, the gentleman at the table says, "He's exaggerating." "I'm not. There's always more orcs when you ain't seen one. See, we got one sitting right here in front of it. And he looks,
Hell yeah.
glares at Morose, and he says, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't a scout, checking out the defenses of our little town here, getting ready to bring his war band in with it.
I look at this.
The scout
This.
rock fighter.
Ooh,
What
I
did
was
she
gonna
say
give
to
him a
me then?
little. I was gonna give him a little.
Morose,
dwarven-
please, just calm down. Calm down. It's all okay.
Oh, Morose is just sitting there amused.
I'm sneaking sips of Alex's.
I literally do not notice.
Exactly.
Like, wow. Whew, yeah, this is great, Paynar.
When she says that, he turns on you real fast, and then you can see the second thought take place in his face as you guys are laden with armor and weapons, and he is drunk and wearing dirty mine clothes. He says, right. I was maybe a bit off my base there. Apologize.
No, that's quite alright.
Well, look. You'd be doing everyone in this town a favor if you took care of them orcs, right?
Yes,
Not just me.
I look him in the face and I put all of my fingertips together directly in front of my chest. Go, we'll do it to him.
As well.
I go to him and
I've paid my fair share into the reward. For
yeah,
the
I was just
orcs.
about to ask about that. Do you know how much it roughly is? How
Last
much
I
is their
heard, it was
wage?
up to 100 gold pieces. No, that's not to
Are
say
we
that
sure
the
we
red
want to
brands
save
haven't.
this rock guy?
That's not. That's not to say that that the red brands haven't gotten their hands into that money. You know, I'm sure that if that much money's around for that long, they're sure to take notice. But last I heard, 100 gold pieces. Wish I could do it. I can't. It used to
Do
be
you know how many of the red brands there are?
red brands.
Red brands, whatever.
I don't really
Red
take much
band?
notice. I come through the city, get supplies mostly. I just arrived earlier today. Probably tell I'm not really looking my best. But let's also probably about a dozen, maybe two.
I turn back to the boys and say, think we could take him?
The dwarf?
No!
Yeah, I mean, we could probably take the dwarf, but like
When
20
you turn,
orcs probably.
when you say that, so you turn and say, "Think we can take him," and then Barney's eyes reflexively look at the dwarf and size him up, and he takes a step backwards.
And I say, no, not the dwarf, the red brand. The red brand.
I mean, you know, there's probably a lot more of them than there are of us, so we have to
Of course,
kind
we have a druid.
figure out what their operation is.
That's a good idea. So I literally just walk out Stonehill and start walking towards the giant.
So here's a moment, Casey, that will work out perfectly. I walk out as though I am following Daniel.
Perfect. The dwarf looks. He looks at the two that just left, and then looks back at the rest of you. Says, "They're not going to fight the red brands right now, are they?"
Well, I'm not fighting anybody until I finish this meal.
He shakes his head.
I'm drinking all the leftover cider if he's just gonna leave with.
He shakes his head. He looks at the humans at the table. He goes, "Those orcs are going to be out there forever, aren't they?" And he goes back and sits down at his table. And I think right now is probably a good time for a break, unless somebody's got something quick they wanted to say or do.
I'm gonna yell, Paladin.
Yeah?
Who's your deity?
Torm.
God of duty.
Yeah.
Your duty is to Gundren Rockseeker. Don't pick another fight right now.
But they are destroying the common people's home. I must not allow this to happen any longer.
You're no use to us dead.
But that's
Yeah,
why I'm
Paladin.
very smart. I will
Paladin, I
challenge
agree with
their leader.
Paladin. I
duel.
agree with she. I think that we handle our business first, and then we come back and deal with whatever red brands or orcs.
But
next
who
on
knows
the
if
menu.
they take any more people's lives or the money for the reward, for that matter.
It's not our problem. Not right now.
We need to worry about gun control.
Take the job.
I'm almost like at like verge of coming back. That I want to go. I decided to go back.
Okay.
Upset, so I'm upset. Though.
Perfect.
I do not.
Right. Barney got up to follow you out, and as you had just heading out the door, right? You'd open the front door, you're stepping out, and the amount of time you guys have been here, darkness has fallen and the night is officially set in.
Yep.
And there's a nice awkward moment where Daniel looks back and has this conversation across the bar. Very heartfelt. You need to stay with us. We need to do this together conversation. And as they do that, you guys see Barney just walks right out the front door.
Barney.
All right. We're going to take a quick, I don't know, what sounds good? 15-minute break, guys?
Yeah, 15 minutes is
Sounds
good.
good.
Be back at 8:15, and
Got it.
we'll carry on. Cool.
Very good.
Got it.
And we're back. All right. So before our break, our intrepid adventurers have decided to sit down and contemplate their next move inside the Stonehill Inn. Inside, they met a few of the local townsfolk, and following an outburst from the paladin, who can't stomach the injustice being done to the common folk, the rest of the party managed to talk him down. In the confusion, Barney headed straight out the front door.
Why?
Right.
We may never know.
Pick up. Alex, where do we see Barney?
Barney is heading towards the miners' exchange.
Oh boy.
Get back to my map of Phandelver here. Okay. You head through the town towards the southern portion. You find a squat, mostly stone building. Bear with me here 1 second. You find a small stone building that has a simple sign hanging out front. The sign depicts a mining axe crossed with a bag of money with a scale behind it. As you can see, there's a light on inside. However, the door is closed.
If you rob it, Barney. If you rob it.
I go to the door and give a loud and distinct knock.
Okay. Knocking 3 times, pausing and knocking 2. The door. You see the shadows inside the start to move as the door. You hear several locks come undone, and it opens. A dwarven woman looks out at you. She has. I'm sorry. A human woman looks out at you. She has hair that was once dark. However, it's starting to show signs of age. Shock light now cut through it. Her face is starting to show again the signs of her age as wrinkles and laugh lines begin to appear.
Claire from Bon Appetit.
Yeah. She looks out, her eyes narrow. She looks at you and she says, odd time of night for a visitor. You
Well,
knowing that to be a challenge phrase in Thieves' Cant.
hmm. So can I? Is there a knowledge or an insight type of check that I can go with to know the proper response to that? Then.
You are a rogue, so you automatically have Thieves' Cant as
Well,
a
I know I have
knowledge.
thieves' cant. I didn't know if it was like a common response that I would be able to give.
Nope. I mean there is, but I don't know what that is because I
Sure.
myself am because
I
we're broadcasting. I'm not a thief. But
also I don't have anything clever at the moment, so we'll just go with I respond in kind.
okay. Um, for a moment, the door closes as the remainder of the locks are done, and but inside you can see is a small trading um with several bits and pieces of stone and ore lying around. Most notably in the center of the room is a table with a very large and expensive looking scale. All the different weights and measures that would accompany something like that. Um, she eyes you up and down. She says, "So you're the new recruit, huh?"
I take it that you're Hallie then.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes, I've come here under the guise of being a guard for a wagon, and I was told to seek you out once I arrived.
Hmm. All right. You sure you weren't followed here?
To the best of my knowledge, I was not followed. Even my clumsy cohort of a paladin did very little to even pursue me.
He
Um,
walks up behind you.
uh, she looks back and forth. She says, she peers out the window, returning back to you. She says, "Well, if you want in, you're gonna have to perform a task. And right now, it's gonna be a little more complicated than what I would normally ask of someone. You see, I'm sure you've noticed these bread brands in town.
I keep hearing about them. They seem of the sort of ill repute that we wouldn't deal with.
Brazen, bold, and frankly, uncontrolled. Uh, their leader has got to go.
Hmm. Where does he usually reside?
Well, from what I've seen of their comings and goings, most of them loiter around the Sleeping Giant tap house. However, I've seen on more than one occasion members of their group going in and out of Tressendar Manor, an old ruined manor house on the outskirts of town. If I had to take my guess, that's probably their real base of operations.
Okay. Is there a particular time frame we're trying to stick to, or I do have a matter of business to settle with?
Hey, be patient. These things, they take time, and I understand. But they're cutting in on our business here, and we
So
can't
I've
have
heard.
that.
The townsfolk who would normally be dealing in their wares seem to be under distress.
From what I've been able to find, all of those miscreants answer to a man named Glassstaff. A name I've heard tossed here and there.
Okay, it'll be good when trying to infiltrate their ranks, perhaps.
Right. So you and your group do this for me, and we'll make sure that you have my seal of approval, as it were.
That's excellent to hear, Hallie. Before I leave, as a very green person to how all this goes, I pull out the letter that I have from the what do I have? It's letter of introduction from the guild, but it's just like the Merchants Guild.
Right.
Like, is this something that you need from me?
She squints at you and looks at it and looks back at you.
And I clearly realize, like,
right.
yeah. Okay, not that kind of thing. Yep.
Did you need me to sign your permission slip?
I mean, the guys back at the bar are gonna wonder where I was, so maybe.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
The most resourceful ones do, and hopefully I'm one of those.
She looks you up and down one more time, says, "Let's hope so," and she walks over, opens the door very slightly, and gestures for you to leave.
Yep. And I leave without another word.
Right.
And I slowly make my way back to the bar, taking a somewhat indirect route, like whatever the meandering way to get back to the Stonehill would be.
Okay. The rest of you guys are sitting at the bar. You finish this heated exchange with Thaniel as you talk.
I noticed Barney leave.
Yes, everybody kind of takes notice. Like, where the hell did Barney go?
I walk out of the inn and call his name a few times. Very loudly, not really caring about anybody else who's sleeping.
I assume
But,
get the answer.
Well, here we go. We'll find out. You see me walking towards you.
Oh my gosh. Roll your own die, please.
Yeah, I probably should,
You yell a few times, standing on the front porch of the Stonehill Inn. And as you do, 4 gentlemen start walking up. They're wearing different bits and pieces of weaponry strapped to themselves. Most seem to have blades.
And I try to make myself, stand a little bit taller.
And all of them have a red band or sash tied somewhere on their arm, be it around their arm, waist. One fellow has it around his head.
Okay.
And as they're walking by, they're clearly drunk, and one of them points and laughs at you. And goes, Barney, where are you?
Draw my sword and point at him and say, "You better shut up, man."
Oh, watch out, everyone. He's got a sword.
I attack him.
Okay. All right.
Can I see this happening?
No, I'm going to assume this is happening during your conversation.
Okay. That's fair.
Oh my gosh.
Give me 1 second here, gang. We got us a fight.
Daniel,
You just go outside alone and start a fight.
Right.
I get advantage because he wasn't ready.
He was ready. You pulled the sword and pointed it at him.
He was laughing at me, and he's drunk.
Yeah.
Do I get advantage?
No.
Aw.
Bear with me here 1 second, guys. I got to draw what probably looks like the front of an inn. What's the rest of the group doing while this happens?
Barney's got to be close by. You know that.
Anyone? Bueller?
I'm assuming I'm still eating or ordering more.
Okay.
How long have we been sitting there?
Did we hear what's going
guys
on
have been there-
outside?
you
or
guys
is it
have
just like,
probably-
I imagine they would have heard me because I'm very loud.
You've probably been in the inn for about an hour, I would say. Between eating, having some conversation, getting a drink. As soon as nightfall happens, Barney goes out the door. Daniel, you poke your head out the door to see where Barney's going, and you see him vanish down the street. As you call after him, these guys start harassing you. That's where we go. So I'll put there. It goes here. This goes here. This goes here. Sorry, guys. Just bear with me 1 second.
It's fine.
All right.
Music is very relaxing.
It's not about to be.
Oh man.
All right.
Oh, it's gone. Rip. Show me my enemies. Oh, they're there. I see him. I see one.
Right. And they're drunk, so they're
All right, so I
probably-
went and attacked this one, right here.
Everybody's gonna make me an initiative check.
Come on, give me initiative. Let's go. Hey. Oh, let's go, Barney.
Pinar opts to speak with animals instead.
Yeah,
I accidentally hit that button.
what's more important? He found a small mouse in the corner of the bar. His name is definitely not Boo.
I really want to level up, boys. I really need some things at level 2.
Ah,
Is this staircase the way?
Yeah. There's a railing that encapsulates the front porch here that you guys can jump over if you want, because that's cool. What am I missing here? Barney, Pinar. Daniel. All right. Pinar, you hear Nathaniel pull his sword and scream at somebody in the street. Then you hear the telltale sound of him charging forward and leaping over a railing to get at the guy. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm gonna grab my drink and wander out to see what he's doing now. Gonna post up by this railing here and cheer.
Okay.
I can only move 30. No, I can actually move 35. Move there.
Yeah. All right. And I should probably set all that to the. This. That. There we go. Okay. Is that your turn?
Oh man.
I'll cast you late in my club or quarters.
All right.
Pound it against the drum, pound it against the floor, give him a cool war beat.
All right.
Do I get advantage because of this?
You do not. And now it's my turn.
Alright.
Second here. Navigating this is not the easiest. There it is. All right. All right. As Paynar comes out, you see Thaniel land on his feet, raise his sword up, and come at the guy in the street right here. However, he quickly pulls a short sword from a scabbard.
So
He
drunk.
holds it in the reverse pommel position, and as you start to rush towards him, he goes, "Are you serious, mate?" And he comes at you, and he's gonna try to hit you. You can hit him. 20 beats your AC.
Alright, man. How do you get a 20? It does. If I
Okay.
had my darn.
You take 5 points of piercing damage as he stabs. As you start to lunge at him, he turns towards his buddies. He goes, "You believe this guy? Let's get him!" And he comes at you with a second attack. I'm assuming a 7 doesn't beat your AC.
Correct.
Thaniel now getting his bearings and preparing for battle is able to ready himself more. Paynar, it is your turn.
Am I the only one who's coming out here to help him?
I'm sorry, Thaniel. I'm sorry,
Right.
Thaniel.
I'm really scared of dying. Do you have to? I hope you have some type of spell to save me, man.
You started this fight.
What? How did I get another 8? This is terrible. I'm screwed. My next numbers are 23.
So the 8, you swing wildly at him. This guy mocking you ducks underneath your sword sweep, and turns with his hands out, smiling at his buddies. He says, "Honestly, guys, I think I got this one." These 3 guys back here are drawing weapons and kind of just waiting to see how this whole thing plays out. Dave, you're Your sword's coming up a little weak there, huh?
Well, no, I was trying to adjust it. I got it all messed up for the second attack.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to take the. Somehow they came out messed up.
Thaniel, did you want to do anything else? Action. You got a move. You got a bonus.
Use the lay on hands as a bonus action.
That I do not know.
I think so. I mean, it kind of depends what Land Hand says.
Let me look it up real quick. Land hand says, as an action. So no, you cannot.
Okay, so I cannot.
All right. It moves to Shankudo.
Oh, you shoot this guy in the face, please.
So I'm in the. I'm in the inn, and it doesn't look like I can see what's going on.
There are windows along the front. You can
You
kind of
definitely
hear.
hear.
Yeah, the door's open. You can see Paynar comes outside, kind of like cheering, and then quickly you see he casts a spell and starts to run down the stairs. You can hear this guy providing quite a bit of bravado.
I yell out, "This one's mine." So anyway, I was like screaming out like for no reason.
They're all yours.
Well, I'm gonna move to. I don't know why it's not letting me move.
Hold on a second. I might need to get your permission for some reason. Oh, weird. Let's see. It's because I transferred you to the background layer. Let me go ahead and move that. There you go. Now you should be able to do it.
Mighty white of you.
Try
I
it
will
now.
move over to here where I can see out the door.
Okay.
And then attack this guy that I can see, I guess.
This one right here in the middle?
Yeah, with the bow, I guess.
Okay.
From there.
Don't get Nate.
If I can do that, I don't know if I can.
Absolutely you can.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I needed
Ahead.
a round or what. There's. So, first round, I will attack the bow.
Hey, it's a crit.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that doesn't look right.
You got damage for me?
I clicked on it and it gave me a syntax error.
Yeah. Type /roll 1d8.
Which should be ×3, right?
I don't think bows are ×3 and 5e.
Okay, what's the crit then?
It's ×2.
Longbow is 1d8, I believe.
Where do I type it?
Right in the chat box, just type /roll 1d8. Or if you got d8 handy, roll it. Tell me what it says.
Seven.
Alrighty, that's with your bonus.
No, that was the single roll.
Okay, so roll again. Here's your crit.
Okay, so that's 10, 15.
15. That includes all bonuses.
I only had ability once, right?
Yep. All right, this guy right here, watching the fight between this armored buffoon who assaulted them and this guy who's just making absolute mockery, laughs and smiles, and before he knows it, he has an arrow lodged deeply within his chest. He kind of staggers backwards, goes to scream, but can't draw in any air as the arrow has punctured deep into his chest cavity.
He's dead.
He's very close. he's he's not doing well.
I think I'm more than 50 HP. Why am I fighting this?
Yeah, you picked a big fight here.
Well, you said be level 11, so I'm used to that.
Gross.
Faster than we are.
I shout in, nice shot.
Evan, your turn.
So I see Q pull his bow here, and obviously there's some action going on. So my movement is 30 feet. Each one of these squares is 5 feet, correct? Or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
So I guess I have enough movement to take me out. And you said I can jump the rail here and end up next to Daniel.
Yep. You can make me an athletics check as part of your to not fumble and fall on your face as you jump over the railing, go down.
All right, we'll do that.
5 feet. There you go. That's good enough.
Hey.
So you're gonna move.
Um,
Put yourself right next to Thaniel if you'd like.
Yeah, I think that's about all I can do here is move next to Thaniel, and then I will slap him on the back of the head, tell him that he's an idiot. And I don't have any range attacks or anything, so I think that's where my turn ends.
All right. Top of the order, Barney.
Barney.
I want you to make me a 1d4 roll to see when you get back here. 2 rounds. Paynar, you are up again. The fight looks like it's getting a little bit more serious as these 3 gentlemen pull their, well, probably honestly these 2 pull their knives. This one's coping with the fact that he's about to drown in his own blood, and this guy's already fighting. What do you want to do?
I want to shout to the stop. I can heal your friend, and we can both go our separate ways before this gets.
Interesting. Make me a persuasion check. Hey,
Oh
look
my
at that.
gosh.
As you say that, this guy for the first time notices that this other gentleman is bleeding to death behind him. He looks at Morose, who's just joined the battle, jumping over, probably hoisting his giant axe. He looks at Thaniel, who is brandishing a sword.
Stop attacking them, you.
Daniel, it is your turn.
Okay. So I was hearing what Planner's saying, but I just don't listen.
We don't want to kill the town. He wants to kill.
I'm.
You're a paladin.
Did anybody else have that come through as just a really long, drawn-out, choppy part?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did too. Yep.
Okay.
I missed that.
As soon as this guy turns around and look at his buddy, I'm gonna swing my long sword down.
Okay.
There we
Can
go.
I do
Yep.
anything else
Yep.
besides speaking?
You used a skill check, which is considered an action.
Fuck,
Oh,
okay,
no,
pretty
yeah.
good.
16 will hit.
Thanks. Well, I got good news. We found the dog. Oh, I gotta roll for damage. Okay.
All right. As this guy yells to he says, call your boys off. He turns for a split second, and as he's distracted, the paladin drives his sword into his side. He yells out in pain.
I laugh at him. Very, like, annoyingly.
All right. So that means that these guys are going to take their held actions after Thaniel.
Yeah,
This guy right here
I
is
know.
going to
That's
swing at
John's coming.
you. 10, I assume, doesn't beat your AC, Thaniel.
Is not.
Okay. He's going to come at you with a second attack. 22, I assume, does beat your AC.
Oh my gosh.
You're
Jeez.
going to take 5 points of piercing damage.
Oh. Oh my.
Then this
Heal
one
me,
is going to
heal me.
run forward.
I let you get out of this. Fuck. You had a chance to get away without anything wrong.
This guy runs forward, and in his haste and confusion, drops his knife at your feet as he tries to stab towards you. This can mean that he's disarmed temporarily. And then this guy looks at his injured friend and puts himself between Rose and the other guy. He draws his sword, and he's going to do one at Thaniel.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An 8, I assume, doesn't miss, so he's going to come at you with his second attack. 17, I assume, hits.
This is. I have an 18 AC.
All right. He swings at you wildly with both knives cutting at you. This guy is going to try to get away. He drops his knife and runs down the street. Shankudo. Kudo.
I assume that everybody's in melee, so that's a
So you don't take a negative for them being in melee, but you have an ally between them, so they do have partial cover.
Shoot me. I swear, if you shoot me.
Right in the spine. Never walk again.
Paralyzed.
Push me around in a cart.
I'll just be waiting there to lay on hands when you guys return. How much damage can I hit with lay on hands?
So how do the mechanics work in this? If I miss, do I hit the party member or
No.
okay?
Oh.
They just have a higher AC against you.
All right, and I don't gain any advantages from them being in melee and not knowing I'm attacking them.
No, they know you're there. They watched an arrow rip out of the doorway earlier.
Okie doke. Then I guess I will shoot this one.
All right. What are we looking at here? Looking at a 10. 10 is no good. So you fire your arrow. However, it sticks into the wooden banister that runs the length of the
Whatever.
porch here.
Shoot.
You got a move action. You got a bonus action if you can do anything with it.
Yeah, I just minimized the wrong window, so I'm trying to get it back up.
How dare you? Moros, you are on deck, by the way.
Yes, sir.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
All right. You come out the front door, hugging close to the side of the building, readying another arrow. Moros, what would you like to do?
Well, I think we're gonna take a swing at him here.
All right.
The gentleman who's right in front of me.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the bathroom while I'm
Yep.
this far away.
I think it's important that Moros still regards these guys as gentlemen. Honestly.
The sophisticated half-orc.
Right. Respect your enemy in battle. So you're gonna come swinging with a 14. A 14 is good. So go ahead and roll me some damage. That can't be right.
guessing it's just.
If you do that much damage at level 1, I'm gonna.
Well, this may prove the point that my 41 last time was not exactly a.
Sure.
I think it's because you have a golden, like a crit.
Do you want me to just roll 3d12 here?
You should only be rolling 1d12.
You want to just take the first d12 then?
Here,
Yeah,
let me just.
1d12 plus 3 strength
There,
equals.
I think I fixed it in your character sheet. Can you try again? No, it doesn't look right either. All right, yeah, just type one, roll 1d12, and you're gonna get a bonus 3 on the damage.
I mean, if you just take the first part of that damage roll, it's right.
I'm in agreement with Barney. We should just take the first number off of that first roll.
Well,
I see the formula there. That's fine. Do the 13. 13 to this guy right here. That's a pretty devastating blow. Describe your attack to me.
With frustration over the situation, you can see the anger boiling over in Morose's eyes as he takes his great axe and lets out some of the frustration towards his fellow adventurers on the red band that's before him, cleaving him across the chest, splitting his chest cavity open, and laying to waste the red band in front of him.
Yep. You see that he crumples to the side. You can hear bones snap, and you definitely pull your axe away wet. However, he's still up and able to fight. Barney. Dear Barney.
Barney has entered the scene.
You come around the corner to the sounds of battle. To the sounds of Morose probably doing his orcish grunt and men screaming in the streets.
Perfect.
You got your little guy right up there.
Okay. 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 gets me to the corner.
Okay.
I can at least do that. Does that give me any line of sight to any of these people?
Yep. This guy right here is going to have 3/4 cover on you. However,
Okay. While I move, I've drawn my bow and will fire an arrow.
Cool.
And this is the what? That's the only one that I can see, the furthest to the left, basically.
Everybody else has full cover on you.
Okay.
Because of the way the grids
Yep.
work.
Yep. So I'm gonna shoot.
All right. 14's good.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm sorry. Partial cover. 14 is no good. Your arrow sails, lands at the feet of the gentleman. It's hard to get a beat on him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do anything else?
Not really anything else to do.
Okay.
Move.
Cunning action. Do you get that at second level? Is that a second level?
Yeah, I don't have
Okay.
cunning action.
All right then. We're looking at Paynar. It is your turn. You successfully negotiated with a hostile creature for the second time in this adventure, and immediately had Danielle ruin that within 6 seconds. What would you like
Seems
to
to
do?
be a trend.
What?
Can I hold my action, and then if Thaniel happens to go below 0 hit points, I'll do a cure wounds on him. Other than that, I don't really want to get involved in this.
Okay.
Ready in action. Okay.
You take a ready action to cast Cure Wounds on Thaniel if he goes down.
Yeah, but begrudgingly.
Okay, begrudgingly. I'll put down begrudging ready action.
How much does that
It's an
heal?
important designation.
Thaniel, it is your turn.
All right. So the one I just sliced my sword through, and I just laughed. I'm gonna hit him again.
Okay, this guy right here.
This guy, yeah.
Yep, that'll hit.
Or slashing. My gosh.
Okay. You hit him another 4, right? Another glancing blow with your sword as this guy brandishes off against you. And he goes, I don't think you know who you're messing with, mate. We're the Red Brains. We own this town.
So I could care less.
Do you want to do anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna walk back here.
Nope. That is a 5-foot step over a railing.
Oh. Okay. Will this guy will have attack of opportunity if I turn around and jump over the railing?
Yeah, if you leave his threatened area, yes.
I don't know if I can do anything else.
All right. This guy right here comes at you. Determined to win your sword fight. And he comes at you and stabs, plunging his knife into. Let's see. He's gonna maneuver there. And as he goes to stab at you, you duck out of the way, and he plunges his knife deep into the wooden support structure that makes up this porch, struggling to free it.
He had attack of opportunity because he's struggling.
Nope, but that would be cool.
Aw. That would be cool.
He does, however, lose his second attack because I rolled an actual 1, and he has to spend the rest of his action to pull the sword out and brandish it against you. This guy right here picks up his weapon, which I believe might provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Will he be able to attack me this turn?
Oh, 1 second. It does not provoke. So he bends down, picks up his short sword, and he's gonna swing at you. This guy right here.
Oh no.
A 20 hits.
Oh my gosh.
You take 6 points of piercing damage.
I am at 0.
You're at 0?
Yeah.
All right.
Give me cure wounds.
Turning to face this man right here, you expose your flank as this guy bends down, picks up his knife, and quickly plunges it deep into your side. You all watch in horror as Thaniel falls to the ground. This guy, satisfied with having brought him down, turns towards Morose and says, "He can't kill us all," and swings his second attack at Morose. Morose, a 9 doesn't beat your AC, does it?
Can I heal him with my cure wounds though?
You're gonna go off in a second.
Yeah.
So he clashes against. Morose doesn't wear armor, does he? You're
No, he's got an unarmored defense though of its 10 plus the dexterity modifier plus constitution, so I think it's like 16.
Okay. He brings his knife flying towards you. You manage to duck out of the way as he cuts close to your belly and pulls the sword back. Paynar, why don't you go ahead and burn your spell for me? Roll me 1d4 plus your casting modifier. I'm sorry, 1d8. 1d8.
Yeah, it's a D8.
9 hit points.
That's good.
Nathaniel, brought back from the brink of death, you open your eyes. The wound in your side seems to be kneading itself together. However, you are prone.
Don't count on next time you die.
Look at you with disgust.
She.
Since he's prone, does that mean that the guy doesn't have cover anymore?
Yeah, I would give you that this guy no longer
Fine.
has cover. These other two do.
Okay, well, I'll attack this guy then.
Okay.
Oh, he's mine.
Yep, 19 will hit. Give me that damage. 10. All right. 10 will put that guy down. He hits the ground. All the bravado fading away from his face as he starts to gasp for air.
I laughed at him
Where were you
very
aiming
hard.
for, Dave?
Right straight through his eyeball.
Okay. It takes him through the eye, and he does not gasp for air as he falls dead to the ground.
Laughed very hard.
Did you want to do anything else? You had a move action.
Yeah, I will move. 10, 15.
Good right there.
Yep.
Morose, it's your turn.
All right, we're gonna take another swing of the axe to the goon that stands in front of me.
Okay.
Oh.
And looks like we missed.
Okay. You swing wild, the rage getting the better of you. And your big, wide arc allows him to duck underneath it. You totally telegraphed your attack. You want to do anything else?
I don't really think I have any other bonus type moves that would benefit me.
Okay.
I'm debating if I want to move or not.
All right. Just so you know, I know you're not familiar with D&D that much. If you move out of somebody's threatened area, they can try to attack you.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I guess yes, that's correct. So I guess I'm just gonna kind of hang tight.
Okay.
That's what I wanted. I want to get out of here, but I can't.
Barney.
Attack on me.
You see the fight turning in favor of your allies. What you do?
Barney is going to continue his approach.
Barney?
28, 25, 30. Move to there.
Uh-huh.
And, well, I still, for the time being, I still have the bow out. I'm gonna go ahead and just, shoot at that there gentleman.
Okay. That guy has a gape. That guy has a second time he's been referred to as a gentleman. So this red brand is wearing a top hat and monocle.
Good.
And has tails on his coat. That's canon. So go ahead and make your shot.
And Mr. Peanut.
Do I get? Is he aware that I'm there? I guess.
He is, because you fired an arrow at him last round.
Okay.
Shot.
Good. Yay, nay.
I did. I'm sorry. Did you say something? I didn't hear it.
Nope. Just there's no roll. My damage, doing the damage there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say it. Yep, 16's good. Yep, go ahead and do your damage.
Nice.
With your bow, you managed to take him out of the fight as well. Were you aiming?
Right in the old back.
Okay. As he turns to try to bring his knife down on Morose, as Morose brings his axe back, he exposes his back to you, and in true Barney fashion, the back is the most opportune spot to attack. You sink an arrow deep into it, and he collapses forward next to you, Morose. You manage to sidestep as his lifeless body collapses in the stream. Banar.
I'm gonna speak loudly to keep this one alive, so we can question him about what the red brands are doing in the town, and cast Entangle so he can't run away.
Okay. You cast an entangle spell.
20-foot diameter.
20-foot diameter. Okay. I will get a token ready for that as Thaniel attempts to take his turn. And I make a strength saving throw or dexterity saving throw. It's right here in front of me, isn't it?
Strength saving throw or
Yeah. All right. I'm past. But he still has to move half speed, correct? Creatures in the area.
difficult terrain. Yep, it says right in the first line, difficult terrain.
Perfect. Okay, so you cover this area with grasping vines and roots. Can you ping where you want the circle to go? All right, thank you. Thank you. Right here, good.
Sure, that's fine. Can I still walk up to him?
Yeah, you can move through it. Yep. You have gotten yourself in it though. You're not immune. So you're also going to need to make me a strength saving throw. Or a dexterity, your choice.
That's downright foolish. Do I just roll my dex?
You should have a section that's a dex save on your sheet.
Aha.
Yep.
Yeah, it's right above your skills.
All right.
Not a dex save.
Paynar, so engulfed in the battle you are that when you cast the spell, the vines wrap up your own legs, rooting you in place. No pun intended.
Okay.
Thaniel, it is your turn. You also need to make this check. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Oh,
Strength save. Yeah.
Daniel, you are completely and totally rooted in place and restrained. You can, on your turn, spend your action to try to break out.
okay. Why couldn't you just put it like in the corner so we wouldn't have to be in it?
I meant to, but this is where it's placed. EM rules.
Dude, I'm over here. I'm just like, I wanted to go up and tackle this guy so bad.
You don't need to, because now he's in a bunch of thorns and vines.
You got him? Okay, that's good.
What did you want to try to break out, or did you have something else you wanted to do on your turn?
Me?
Yeah.
I want to break out of this stuff.
Okay, so you're gonna attempt me another strength saving throw to see if you can get. Yep, that'll do it. Wrapped in vines and roots, you manage to rip your arms free of them as they kind of wither away from you. And this gentleman is standing in front of you, doing much the same.
Am I no longer prone?
You are still prone.
Okay.
Just grab onto his foot so he can't run.
I attempt to grab onto his feet.
You spent your action trying to break free. Really, all you have are a bonus.
Alright. My turn.
Okay. Shankudo.
Is getting out of prone an action or a move action?
It consumes half your move speed. Dave, what do you got for me?
Oh, I guess I'll shoot an arrow at the remaining guy.
Cool.
One
He
alive.
has partial cover because there's. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's a prone paladin. You It's free and clear. Shoot away. That'll hit. All right. Yep, your arrow sticks into him as he's attempting to evade the magical vines and roots that try to pull him down to the ground. You land a solid shot right into his shoulder. Morose, it is your turn. You're right on the outside of that, so I won't make you roll a save. What do you want to do?
I'm on him.
Morose has been temporarily distracted for the last minute or so. Are we still trying to keep this hostage alive to question him?
Yeah.
I think that would be beneficial. He said he was a Red Brant. He would know like where their leader is or what they're trying to do with all the stolen goods and the protection money, I think.
I do like an intimidation on him and see if I can get some answers to some questions.
Okay. Make me an intimidation check and tell me what you say to him.
Try to muscle up my half-orc body here and huff and puff in my chest and say, tell us what's going on. What are you here for? We've heard bad things about you guys. I don't know. It's not a very convincing intimidation check, obviously.
Okay.
So
I will point out all of you guys have inspiration to use. So if you spend your inspiration, you can take advantage.
Do we get that once a day or something?
No.
No, you get that when I want to give it to you, and I was generous last time and gave everybody one. So
I'm going to hold on to my inspiration.
Okay.
I don't feel like this is
he
critical
is,
of a.
He is entirely panicked at this moment, and he doesn't like you. You're an intimidating, imposing figure. He just doesn't seem to like. He's got a lot going on. He just took an arrow. He's got magical vines grasping at him. Another guy shooting an arrow at him. It's just a mess. However, as you do say that, he does drop his knife and put his hands up.
Just the one hand. The other hand's hardly not really working right now. The entire arm, if that matters.
Yeah, he puts one hand way up in the air and the other one raises gently because it's got an arrow in it. Barney, it's your turn. He does look like he's giving up.
Arnie's just probably just gonna go for the kill. I swear.
So as I'm reading through sneak attack from this particular there is the caveat that you don't need advantage on the attack roll if they're within 5 feet of an enemy that isn't incapacitated, and you don't have disadvantage on the roll.
Right.
So would I feasibly get sneak attack on this guy?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then we're gonna shoot an arrow into him.
Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, you say no, but the answer is probably that I'm going to shoot him. Well, lucky for you, I shoot into there. But
Right. As your arrow sails through the air, a magical vine wraps itself around the arrow, shattering it midair.
Of course, it's my fault. Only fitting.
A manifestation of the druid going, no.
Not my plants. Not my lovelies.
and I move there, and that's me.
Paynar, what do you want to do?
You said I was like grappled by these plants, right? Can I just make a strength check?
Yeah, you can make a strength or dexterity. Sorry, just strength check.
Plants.
Try to get up.
The coffee plants. We already have this guy.
Your spell is also a concentration spell, by the way.
Paynar is completely and totally subsumed by the vines and undergrowth. You guys start to question to yourselves: has he lost control of this effect?
Can I just lie down in them?
Sure.
Let them hug me like a mother.
Yes.
Daniel, you're lying on the ground. You're
I do not
in
have
this
plants
area.
on me. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna stand up. Me. And there. So I stand. It's 15 feet of my movement to do that.
Mhm.
Okay.
And he normally would get an attack of opportunity on you for as you stand up, but he does not take it because he's no longer armed.
I'm gonna stand up and try to get the vines off.
Off of him?
Well, I want to grab him like with my hand. Try to
Okay.
use my other hand to get the vines off.
Okay. You pick him up out of the vines. Yep.
Like that. Okay. I'm going to take him over to like here-ish. You know. Just throw him over the thing. But not like in a way to hurt him, just like toss him over there.
So my question is, are we all good with dropping initiative? Does anybody want to take an action initiative still?
I guess if he has them, I'll let my vines wilt.
The vines all wilt away into nothing.
I start crying.
As the vines vanish and wilt away, you see Paynar lying on the ground in the fetal position crying.
What? Why are you crying?
They hug me like my mother. No one's done that in many moons.
Give me just 1 second, guys. I gotta step away IRL.
What do you want to do with this guy?
Hi, Stephanie.
Smite him.
A good idea, but no.
Smite him.
No. Like after we question him all, like what's the plan? What are we gonna do with him? Release him?
Well, I mean, no.
We don't want to
I know, you
release
guys-
him. We can ask him questions, and then we can turn him into the magistrate for a reward.
There is like no law here.
I don't think that guy cares whether or not we captured him. He didn't seem to particularly mind that they were in town.
We're the law now, so
Are the law.
So if we're the law, then you keep him as a prisoner.
Why does one of us like? So we're literally gonna stay here. That's the point. Like, what are we gonna do? We have to leave tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, so you keep him as a prisoner,
I've returned.
and you sort of
Like,
coerce
how-
him into doing all of the things that you would, force a hireling to do.
So I'm taking him with me. Let's go.
All right. As combat ends, you guys see that there are 2 dead people lying on the foot of the building. The windows of the inn are lined with all the patrons inside who are watching. This gentleman is in the fist of Thaniel, saying, "Look, man, look. All right, I'm not trying to start anything. All right, what do you guys want to do?"
I'm gonna keep him in my hand, and I'm gonna take him upstairs.
Okay.
I am going to sort of, loot the bodies because it's dark out.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And they can't clearly tell that I'm looting the bodies. It just looks like I'm moving. Which I guess we'll also do. You don't want to just leave a stack of bodies in front of an establishment.
All right. So on the bodies, you find that both these gentlemen are wearing studded leather armor. They both are holding. They both have short swords. One of them is carrying 3 gold pieces. The other one is carrying a single gold piece and 10 silver. Yeah, that's what you find.
Any other distinct rolls that you would like me to make if I'm kind of just giving them the once over?
If you'd like to make a perception, sure.
Sure.
There you go, Barney.
Hey, that's good.
Once in a while, I get something.
Right. Barney, being from a place where there's some ill repute, being roughly acquainted with that ill repute, you know that often people will hollow out the soles of their shoes to hide valuables.
Well,
Thinking to check in the boots, as you pull one guy's boot off, you see that he has indeed done this. And set underneath the insole of his shoe, you find a single platinum coin.
ooh.
Ooh. Oh.
Barney, if you need me to hold on to that, I will.
Who else has seen me do any of this?
I would assume probably Morose, because he's
He's doing the same thing with me.
pretty.
Morose
basically.
Yeah, he's probably
very
pretty
angry.
into looting.
I imagine the boot thing is a little obvious because of how involved it is.
Right. Yeah.
It's like Morose, we'll deal with this tomorrow. You don't have to tell anybody else we found that.
Barney, I'm fine with that. This is just between you and I.
Yeah.
We'll figure out how to make it work tomorrow.
Absolutely. Probably wouldn't hurt to, have some of these red brand outfits either, Just saying.
For all the red
That
brands
way
we've
just
encountered,
get
all the red brands
clothes.
we've encountered human.
These ones that you fought out front, there was 1 elf, 2 humans, and 1 half elf.
So
The ones have died.
their clothing, is there anything that distinguishes them as the red brand? Like, do they wear
They
red
all have
clothes, a
red.
sash?
They all have red incorporated somewhere. It's all this very bright red. Some of them have a band wrapped around their arm. Some of them have like
Okay.
a sash. Some of them wear like a piece of red fabric as like a scarf. Yeah.
So they're very literal. They're literally branded with red.
From the bodies that we had, well, we just have the 2 bodies, like just errant sash thing, some kind of. Can I just scribble down that I've squirreled away whatever their 2 red items are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we decide what we're gonna do with the bodies, should I just throw out there that we should maybe dismember them and leave them in the middle of the city like they did to that one for shopping?
I mean, that's
Just send them.
not a bad idea. It's pretty
Yeah.
gruesome, and I really don't ascribe to dismembering bodies. But
All right, don't
whatever
dismember
you
them,
do
put them in
with
the middle of the
animals
road.
at night is up to you. If you know a wolf that hangs out around here that can maybe drag these bodies around for a while, that's fine. It's like nature taking care of stuff, right?
Oh my goodness.
Daniel and Shiankudo, what are you guys doing?
Well, I'm taking them upstairs. I'm gonna
As-
put him into one of my room.
As you start to drag this guy into the inn, you see the gentleman who was helping you guys behind the bar. say, he says, he says, stop! What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's none of your business. I'll just continue walking.
Oh, it's my business. It's my inn. Hey, you come back here. Come back here. And he starts yelling and chasing after you.
So I go back to him. I
I've
whisper to him.
avoided my struggles with these red brains. You're not going to bring this messy business in here. Oh, God. They're going to come after me now. I've got blood on my doorstep. They're going to kill my wife and my kid. He looks absolutely panicked.
I say to him, but not let this red guy hear. I say, it's okay. I'm just gonna, beat him up a little bit so he's not so bad.
What, he earmuffs him while you're saying this?
I'm just gonna kick the shit out of him for a little while. Inside of your inn. Don't worry about it.
I just continue walking.
I can't have it in here, he says. He's kind of pleading at this point. Seeing that he's not getting away with Daniel, he turns to Shiankudo. Are you close by?
I think I'm gonna recover my arrows and then set up a position in case in case some more of the red brands come. If I can get an elevated position, maybe on a roof or something.
Okay. Yeah, you want to set up. So the closest building to the Stonehill Inn is across the street.
Or a tree.
There are no trees in the center of town. They've all been cut down for making buildings. There are bushes nearby. Other than that, I would say there's a house across the street that's probably your best bet. It's got a chimney that faces over the street, so you might be able to take cover behind it.
Yeah, I'll use that then.
Okay.
I shout to Morose, hey, see those bushes over there? You should probably put those bodies in them.
All right, that sounds like a good plan. Because I don't really want to dismember these guys either.
Yeah, it's pretty gruesome, even for me. But we really can't just leave them laying here. We'll have to figure out what to do with them later. But like, bushes are probably good for the dark time.
Right.
Maybe we can throw them on the ox cart in the morning or something. But like,
stack these two bodies up in the bushes around the corner. Paynar, what are you doing through all this?
I'm gonna try and wipe the blood off of this porch.
Okay.
What do you have for druid stuff, Paynar? Like, do you have any like druid cantrips that, like, I don't know, are like prestidigitation?
No, I only have poison spray and shillelagh, and I used both my spells for the day.
You don't have any cantrips?
Poison spray and shillelagh. So unless the poison will like eat the biology and the...
No, you should have. Oh, I'm sorry. Those are cantrips. Yep. Yeah. So, do you have anything with which to scrub blood out of unstained wood?
I mean, so like,
Barney's unused.
Go ahead.
Just Barney's unused cider that I haven't finished yet.
Ooh, that could work.
Okay.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, I got it. I have goblin treasures. I could leave them in the bushes with the bodies, and then it would look like goblins fucked them up.
Maybe that'll up the reward.
I mean, it's a thought.
Yeah. As you start to have that thought, you look at the mass of people who are gathered, looking at the scene that just happened. You realize that probably won't be that.
Yeah. I think it's too late. I think we made too much noise.
Nathaniel, what are you doing with this guy who's in your possession?
Taking him up to one of our rooms, right?
Okay.
I'm putting him in
you
there.
head upstairs. Having not gone to a room yet, you're not really sure which one's yours.
I kind of look around. I open different doors.
Okay. You try the first door, it's locked. You try the second, it's locked. The third one is open. And as you open the door, you toss this guy inside.
I go inside as well. I don't toss him inside, just walk with him inside.
Okay. Downstairs, you guys can see that people are streaming out of this place now. The dwarven man who you spoke with earlier and his human compatriot quickly make their way upstairs. The farmer that Daniel spoke with earlier has left. As he goes to leave, he looks at you guys. He says, I hate him as much as the next guy, but they're bad news. They're bad news. This won't go unanswered. I won't be here for it, and if you're wise, you won't either. He heads outside. You see Mr. Stonehill and his wife hurriedly running around and yelling at each other. She's saying, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And he says, I don't know, okay? Just give me a second to think. As they're kind of rushing around, half tending to their business. It's quite the scene.
So, who all is gathered around? People have fled the bar? Are they trying to, cloister themselves in?
There was really only one guy there who doesn't live or work there.
Okay, so the farmer, sure.
Yeah.
So, well, there's 2 short swords and 2 studded leathers, so I bring them inside.
You can give them to that lady, you know.
And as much as I would hate to try and arm villagers, I offer them at least as a matter of protection and tell them to hunker down while we try and see what comes next.
Okay. You head inside.
This whole time I'm muttering under my breath, I told him not to fight. I told him not to fight as I scribble with.
Okay. Upstairs, in the room, Daniel and the Red Brand stare each other down.
So I put a hand on him and on myself. So I take the air out of his shoulder. First off.
He kind of is hesitant to let you touch him, as you come stepping towards him.
You know, I just gotta yank it out really fast.
Yeah, you guys hear a scream from upstairs. A full-grown man scream in agony.
Alright, then I cast Lay on Hands on myself for 3 and on this guy for 2.
Okay. Alright, as you do that, you see him work his arm back and forth and raise it up. What? Why would you do that?
So, you see, I was in a fit of rage. I think that's what the barbarian does, and I kind of feel bad.
You cut them down. You killed them.
Yeah, but they were
my friends.
They were mean to me first.
They were mean to you, so you cut them down?
Come on, man, you're drunk. Shut up.
Those men had friends, lives. They said one mean thing to you, and you drew your sword and charged at us.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Something smells like atonement around here.
Sometimes you murder people.
Look,
I guess you know better than the rest of us, huh? For all your shiny armor, your fancy holy symbol hanging around your neck.
now that's where you're wrong. You see, I'm much better than all of you. You want to know how?
I have a feeling you're going to tell me either way, he says as he kind of sets down on the cot.
I don't really rightfully know, but I am better.
What are the rest of you guys doing while he talks to this guy upstairs?
So realizing that the situation is going wildly out of our control, I go, "Hey, Morose, there's these two strips of, I guess they're scarves. I don't know what you'd call them. We could tie them on, probably pose as Red Brand while these guys are doing whatever they're torturing a guy inside. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of twisted right now."
I think we also need to think about where we might go, because I don't believe that in tonight is where we want to stay.
This is going very bad. I
Maybe
don't
we
think
should,
we're
like-
welcomed with our 3 rooms anymore.
We can't just leave these poor Indians to keep. We started out and slaughtered people outside their house. We have to protect.
Why don't we just go on the offensive then?
Well, I mean, Paynar's not wrong, but we also are ill-equipped to fight in the dead of night in a town where they know all of the ins and outs. We have to regroup somehow.
I would agree. I don't think we're not equipped for this at this point in time. I think we need to go somewhere else and hide out and camp the night, and to decide if we're going back to find Gundren Rockseeker in the morning, or if things have changed.
Well,
we're
things will
absolutely on
I imagine a drunken murderous rampage will ensue tonight. We could, and here's a long shot, talk to the innkeepers and maybe use their tavern as some sort of ambush to prevent them from being slain in the night.
Why don't we run away and see if the general goods owner will help us stow them away there?
Arthur?
Where did you go when you left the?
Is she and Kudo across the street on top of another building?
Yes.
I feel like
keeping lookout.
I feel like we need to talk to him, as he's the most tactically sound of all of us. And,
Is that? Well, I'm not there.
Daniel's just waiting to get yelled at by everybody.
Well, I think, Barney, I think I want to head out and talk to Shinkudo and see what his take is on this matter. Because yes, I think setting up a watch is important, but we might need to.
So why don't you go catch up with him, and I will take up shop in the shadows here to make sure that nobody is going to slink onto the porch and not only corner our friends inside, but also potentially murder the shopkeepers.
Yes.
I guess I'll be the only one to clean up the blood, you guys.
Hey, you're doing a good job, buddy.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Shiankudo, I imagine you would have told the rest of the party where you were going at least.
Yep.
So yeah, Morose, you know that he's just on the other side of that street. Here, that map's not doing us any good anymore. So let's go back here.
The question. Well, I'm gonna ask them if they come talk to me. Is the Sleeping Giant a legitimate business, or is it just a front where they hang out? Maybe get it from the innkeeper.
Right. So Morose comes up to
To me,
talk
like
to
all
you.
they're just like staying right here in this area. That's where like their main place is.
Yeah, like the one little bit we did get about the Sleeping Giant is that it is like a legitimate inn. They've just taken up shop, and the innkeeper is just too concerned with their own like life, like well-being and lives to like try and kick them out. Sort of like if the mafia were to take up shop in your bar.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna set the roof on fire.
Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to that either.
You could do that
Not
to,
that
like,
I
the
can
manor.
communicate
Like,
that to you, but
like that ran down manor where the leader is. You could definitely do it to that place.
I've certainly given Morose my I don't know, give him your best judgment.
Well, I was just thinking that they would need to do a bucket brigade or something to put it out. That would keep them from coming here to attack.
Hey,
It's just
I'm not
a
there
war.
for you guys to have that tactical discussion, so I think you and Morose have to go over whatever the best laid plan is.
Actually,
No
you
one
know,
wants to.
I
I mean,
think
that
we're
was
obviously all
my initial thought, because I thought that the sleeping giant might just be a front for them. But if it's a legitimate business, I'm reluctant to do that.
Yeah, we did. I think even Elmer had mentioned that when we were talking to him originally. That,
Yeah.
what was the person's name?
I forget, but that's
Grista.
their business.
Grista was too fearful of like her own life to try and kick them all out because they're just drunk and obnoxious, and have sort of used her in as a small base of operations, more or less.
Gotcha. Well,
Shinkudo, I'm at a loss. I'm not sure how we want to proceed here as a
Tell me about it. We're in a bad spot.
we're in a bad spot.
I mean, we were
Wonder
told
whose
there
fault
could be
that
as
is.
many as a dozen or more of them.
That's 4 less
So-
we have to worry about, basically.
So we still are probably going to be outnumbered 2-1 if they come for us, and we don't want to. The problem, I mean, from a morality standpoint, are we going to leave innocents behind to take the brunt of our actions, or we can beat and try and get out of here, but then we might have a pursuit on us as we're going to try and do something else. I mean, we're really screwed.
As I'm talking to you, I do think that maybe we could use Arnie's ability to grift and pull a scam to potentially use the innkeeper and his wife. Maybe they could tell a tale about where we went and get them off of our, potentially get the red bands off of our tail as we head out to the next thing, and maybe buy the innkeeper and his wife some time.
Well,
I think we have to take care of this right now.
that's putting a lot of onus on the innkeeper and his wife to be able to tell a tale and not get punished for us.
Don't forget the beautiful daughter. The beautiful daughter is there too. The important part.
I don't know. I don't have any other ideas or.
I'm not sure what we can do at this point in time. That's why I'm kind of sitting here trying to
You can take a long rest and wait.
avoid an ambush or avoid the retaliation.
One of them definitely got away.
Right, we know that.
Yeah.
Thaniel,
Yeah.
you're in the room with this man.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do about that?
I kind of feel bad because I'm a young dude. I'm kind of rash. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I get lost in the heat of the moment, so I'm not really exactly sure what to do right now. Seeing as I just started fighting, a bunch of people got killed.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take him out of the room. We're gonna go back downstairs. Everyone else.
You can't just leave him alone.
Taking the guy with me. I'm taking the guy with me.
It's funny. You're like a dog that actually caught the car. Just not quite sure what to do now.
You guys watch as Thaniel and this captive, more or less, come walking downstairs again.
Could also use this guy for help. They come at us he'll kill this guy if you don't.
Goes.
That's not help. That's called a hostage.
As he walks downstairs, he sees
Help Stitch.
The tavern has emptied, and the innkeeper is frantically running around, packing belongings, throwing them into a backpack. And as he looks over, he glares at you and he said, "You don't know what you've done to us. They'll kill us for this." And as he does,
Oh my gosh.
the woman standing behind, who was standing behind the bar earlier, his wife, says, "Just like they did to Thale. He was killed right in the middle of town. Now his family's missing. They'll do the same to us."
Kind of really feel bad because in real life I've never had a situation like this, and I don't know what to do.
Well,
I
you
would
know,
hope
Like, I
that
wanna-
I would hope that in real life you've never had a like this.
but I've never played D&D before. I've never actually found a situation like
yeah, I
this.
mean, you know,
Now,
you're encountering the
In real
part where
this is the
a
first
bunch
for
of
me.
good people murdered some perceived bad guys, and now shit's going crazy out of control. You know.
That's
Um,
D&D for you.
Oh gosh.
This
He
is
says,
turning into a pretty steep learning curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
he's writing a lot of checks for you guys to
You
cash
gotta
here.
think before you act.
Waiting for everyone just to go scold me because I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest of all of us.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm 23.
But it's neither here nor there. I'm just trying not to speak out of turn because I would like to keep this as orderly as possible because we have many different situations happening all at once. A poorly negotiated hostage, an orc and an elf trying to figure out how we should
If they
possibly
should
the
burn down a
body.
stay
building.
alive. I'm hiding in the bushes to make sure we don't all get murdered.
Um,
There's that blood cleanup that's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, Paynar's killing it. I'm like watching him from the darkness. I'm like, wow, he really has a knack for cleaning.
yeah, guys, what check do you think is associated with cleaning things really well? You think it's wisdom?
I think it's.
Do another one.
I mean, I feel like it's
Perception
Constitution.
or like
I feel like
Constitution.
it's Constitution because you're cleaning up blood and like a lot of blood.
I'm used to healing the ailments of people.
All
I'm
right.
fine with
So Paynar is
survival.
cleaning the
Well,
blood
maybe
off
it's
the
survival.
steps.
It could be survival.
As you guys try to get your footing, uh, the the camera's gonna pan up, and the narrator's gonna say, "In a bit of a tough spot, aren't they, folks?" And we're gonna find out what happens next time on The Comic Shop Presents Lost Minds of Phandelver.
Hooray!
Thanks everyone for playing.
I'm gonna be thinking about this
Yeah.
for the next week. I feel
What
bad.
a fun cliffhanger.
You
I know.
got a week to figure it out, and I hope you do.
I feel bad.
Thanks to everyone for playing. For anybody who watched this mess of a show, we greatly appreciate it. And I guess I will talk to you guys all next week.
Bye.
Thanks, Casey.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.